That reminds me of the wallet and luggage joke. Have you heard that one? Yeah. So a guy, what is it? Oh yeah. So a guy doesn't get circumcised as a kid. Grows up to be 20 or 30, and then he's talking to his wife, and his wife's like, "Well, I'd really like for you to get circumcised." He's like, "But it's been part of me for so long." And the wife is like, "Well, maybe they can do something for you to keep it around." So a guy goes to a doctor and says, "Hey, this is the deal." And guy gets circumcised, and he takes that skin to a tailor. And the tailor's like, "Oh, I can make it a wallet for you." So he takes the foreskin and sews it into a wallet. And then the guy takes it home, and the wife's like, "Okay, so what'd you make it?" And he's like, "Oh, I made a wallet." And then check this out, and he rubs it, and it turns into a suitcase.
Hello and welcome to the
Ridge. Oh
shit!
Was that off the cold open?
A show by Damage Control. A show by Damage.
That's why he was doing the joke.
No, I was just telling a joke because I like the joke.
That's forever going to be on this episode.
Hello and welcome to the Ridge, a show by Damage Control podcast. I'm sitting on my wallet right now.
We'll lose this episode.
A professionally unprofessional look at the conventions, ideas, and genres of filmmaking. I'm here with. I need to turn my mic down. I'm here with
Tyler,
Daniel.
Somebody.
Cody.
You used to know.
Now I'm told
that is a reach back.
Yeah.
I'm told our intros.
Cody's good at reach backs.
Our intro is going to be interrupted.
No, yes.
Keep going.
Okay. No, so are we good to go? Okay. Yeah. All right. So we need to do the first, I guess, correction in DCP history.
That's not true. We correct each other all the time.
We don't admit mistakes.
Well, we have to at least acknowledge this one because we got actually'd.
By who?
One of our long-term listeners.
Cody's mom?
No.
Oh, really?
No, we got actually'd by a Lord of the Rings fan in our source material episode when we were talking about Lord of the Rings. So
we talked about Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, okay.
So I remember we were talking about how Aragorn was much older than he appeared. Okay. And Cody said, he's like 80 or something.
Right. He's like 100 and something.
Yeah, that's why I said 80 or something, because I wasn't certain.
Right. So we got actually'd, and he's actually 89.
Oh, okay.
Not 80.
Yeah, Cody.
But I still think that kind of qualifies as 80 something.
Oh, come on. I said 80 or something.
Okay, all right.
I know, I think that counts.
I hate defending Cody.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if given the choice, I would let a giant sandworm eat him so I could survive.
Always.
But he said 80,
step one. Always
80 something. And in my opinion, 9 falls under the something.
Right, yeah. So, and it may not have been 80 something, but it might have been like 80 or something. It was very clear that he wasn't exactly 80.
Okay.
And we got actually'd about the age.
Okay.
And then I got actually'd about Aragorn's race.
Is he not human? He's not human, is he?
He is a type of human.
Oh.
He is a Duodane.
Duodane was.
Which I said it was like a demigod or like a descendant of the Maiar, which is what Gandalf is.
Right.
And someone tried to actually me.
Okay.
And I did the research. He is a Duodane, which are descended from the Numenor, who were descended from the Edain, who were crafted by the Vaelor. And the Vaelor are the weaker, younger brother kind of siblings of the Maiar.
And where does Gandalf fall in all this?
Gandalf's a Maiar.
So Stephen Colbert was pissed off listening to our podcast because he hears anything that ever mentions Lord of the Rings.
Right, and he zooms right in, and we got actually'd, but sorry, I don't think that I got actually'd that hard.
The same person did both of them?
Oh, so
yes, same person actually'd.
When we do a Lord of the Rings, he or she can come on.
Right.
Me.
So. Well, I don't know if they'll agree to that necessarily, but I have absolute faith that they will listen to this episode, and I will get many more actuallys and get sassed.
Wait, all right. Let me say.
Lord of the Rings stole from Game of Thrones. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, let me.
Game of Thrones walked so Lord of the Rings could run.
Yeah,
everyone knows Lord of the Rings came out in like 2020.
All right, let's be honest. Game of Thrones
We're
fought
gonna-
so Lord of the Rings could walk, because that's all they fucking do.
Guys, we're I'm like, I think we need to tone it down a little bit. We're gonna get a lot of fucking people pissed. We know people personally who would come after us for this shit. Like, we got to be careful, dude.
Potatoes.
The only thing I have to say is there's only one return, and it's of the Jedi, not of the King.
Sauron is really
Why
Gandalf's
are
brother.
we throwing all these punches we can't
When-
back up?
Whenever I see Sauron, all I hear is, for dry, red eyes, use clear eyes.
I've never seen a single. No, I've seen Fellowship, I think.
Someone gave our cousin Ryan gave me Fellowship of the Ring for my birthday when I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, I think I've seen
And I
Fellowship.
remember watching it, and it was the part where, like, they're in, I think it's Rivendell or wherever. And,
Riverdale.
And Bilbo, like, reaches out for the ring, and, like, his face, like, becomes, like, some weird CGI thing, and it scared the absolute shit out of me as a kid.
Okay.
That's fair.
All right, now go ahead.
One
go
last
ahead.
thing, and just to settle the debate, is The Hobbit part of Lord of the Rings?
Is it part of Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Isn't it a prequel?
Yeah, it's a prequel, isn't it?
Yeah. So would you say that if you were discussing Lord of the Rings, the events
Two questions.
and places in The Hobbit would
Two-
matter?
Two
Well,
questions.
yeah, because the events of the Hobbit matter to
Right.
Lord of the Rings.
Because another actually that I got was that actually
Wait, before you
the
answer,
lake-
before you answer that, the person that's going to get upset, could they beat me up? And
Yes.
two, which one do they fall on? So I'll fall on the other one, just to get people talking.
Well,
Which side of the argument does he or she land on? And I'll fall on the other side.
they land on it is not part of Lord of the
It
Rings.
is.
It is.
It clearly is.
Right.
Wait,
So-
can they beat me up?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So you think it's fair to say, if we're discussing Lord of the Rings, that Lake Town, which is exclusively in The Hobbit, is also in Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
No, it's like
Well, it got destroyed.
no. Lake Town is like
It's still there.
Well, no, it like got destroyed. They had to fucking leave.
No, Lake Town is like those people are like, yeah, I'm from Chicago, but they live 2 hours out. Right? I don't know what y'all are talking about.
I don't know what it is.
Like, I think Lake
I'm-
Town, like, canonically just fucking gone. Because the only reason it exists in the first place because Smog was there. It's gone.
Oh, that's the town that desolated it? Smog desolated it?
Yeah. Smog got pissed. Well, in the movies, at least. I don't know if it's the same in the book.
You see, I haven't read any of the books, but in the Rankin Bass Hobbit cartoon, which is the best Lord of the Rings anything ever made, the Lake Town survives. Bard shoots him with an arrow and kills Smog.
Yeah.
If Rankin and Bass said so, then it is so.
That's right.
Oh, hail the Rankin and Bass!
All right, and one quick poll: which is better, Hobbit trilogy, Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the G-Strings trilogy.
Ooh, Lord of the G-Strings, very good.
Like, the Hobbit's got a lot of cool stuff. They updated a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's a little bit more zany.
But here's the thing. Is Steven Tyler's daughter in Hobbit?
Liv Tyler?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, so the Hobbit has the chick from Lost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's in
And
Lord of the Rings too.
she is in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't win this argument. I don't know.
No, I think...
Okay,
objectively-
Cody is Team Lord of the Rings. I'm Team Hobbit.
I've never seen either one.
Okay, all right. Here's how.
Have you read any of the books?
No.
Oh,
I'm going with Lord of the Hobbits.
All right, Lord of the Hobbits. Oh, Lord of the G-Strings is a fantastic parody.
I'm gonna go with hobbits because I don't like spiders. They have a giant
All
spider.
right.
in
There's
the Lord of the-
spiders in the Hobbit, too.
Is it really?
Yes.
I haven't seen. A
Wait,
single
which
one.
one's got the I don't know his name. I'm going with Hobbits because I think the Hobbit has Sylvester McCoy in it, and he played one of the doctors in Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So there we go.
I'm
3 to
going with,
1.
I'm going with Lord of the Rings because it's got Carl Urban in it. Wait, which one did you want? The Hobbit?
yeah.
Okay, I'll go with the Hobbit.
All right, 3 to 1. Hobbit is better than Lord of the Rings.
I'm easily swayed.
Don't get
Adam-
me
Adam
wrong,
changes
the Hobbit
it.
had some
Adam's-
good stuff, but Lord of the Rings is a movie. It is a touchstone.
Adam's
Oh,
going
our
with
culture.
Rings of
But
Power.
all they do is walk and fight
Yeah.
orcs.
Yes.
Adam's going with Rings of Power. He changes his.
I'm going with House of Dragon.
He's going with Rings of Power.
How do you pass up like the other cool fights and sequences in Hobbit? Like
Well, like, don't get me wrong. The
riddles
Hobbit
and
was good.
the riddles in the dark, and there's a fucking dragon,
They.
and then there's trolls, and like
I love the Hobbit as well.
Gandalf killed himself because he was tired of fucking walking. That's all I gotta say.
right, exactly. He tried to solo and steal all that experience, and then he's just like, "Nah, fuck this! I'm gonna fly, you fools!"
And
then
it's kind of racist because he's weak as Gandalf the Grey and comes back as super powerful Gandalf the White. Really?
yeah,
Really, Cody?
that's some shit that I expect from Adam, but not from you.
Really?
Yeah, you notice how there were no Asians in that movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was.
But you know what Hobbit had? Asians.
That's why I didn't. Wait, I did vote for it. Anyway, so that was our Lord of the Rings episode.
All right, so quick Lord of the Rings rant for the long-term listener who actually me this week.
And now a word
Love
from
you.
And now a word from our sponsor.
The kitchens of today can be more beautiful than 1949 because this year there's a better, brighter, self-polishing floor wax. It's 1949 Glow Coat. Yes, bright as it's always been, this year Glow Coat is brighter than ever, better than any. Try 1949 Glow Coat on your linoleum this week.
And
No
we're
idea
back.
how fucking amazing that advertisement is.
And we're
Whenever
back.
I hear those, I think of the old Tex Avery cartoons where it's like,
This will be the car of tomorrow.
yeah.
Hey, let's not make fun of our sponsors.
The car of the future, and it's like, you'll be able to shave with no hands. And then, like, they hit a bump, and it shows the driver, and he's got no head. And it's like, there's room for everyone in this car. The husband, and then it shows the wife, and she's, like, cooking in the car, and it's like, even room for the kiddos and little spot. And then, like, it like, trails off, and there's, like, a little buggy like, being drug along. He goes, and for the mother-in-law.
Yeah, they're always mean to the mother-in-law. All right, this episode's topic is revisiting recent bombs. We're only going back to 2020 and forward.
Okay.
So we can discuss in our own opinion, were they bombs? Did we agree with the bombs? Did they deserve the hate, etc., and so forth? So before I just list each year's bombs, is there anyone got any just off top the dome?
I had an idea. What about movies that weren't technically bombs because they was never released?
Well, that we can't. That's an off-air topic. We'll discuss that.
No, come on.
That can make an episode.
No,
You
no,
can
no,
make
like,
that-
we talked about it a little
He
bit.
gave
but
you such a good comeback. Come on.
No, like
I like how like in most improv, like because this is obviously non-scripted. Like
I got it
the
in
whole
my hand
premise
right
is
here.
the
Yes,
whole premise
and.
is yes and, but Adam just knowed. Cody's.
No.
Hey, how about this? No.
no, like Batgirl and
Yeah, but we don't know.
Wile E.
what-
Coyote versus Acme.
But we don't know if it's good or bad.
Well, that's just it. Like, how did those fall? Like, they
But
were
they weren't
considered
techni-
so bad by the studio, they decided to write them off.
They weren't
So are
technically
they
flops.
So we are ruling they are not technically flops because they never released.
Yeah.
We can make that a whole episode topic. Unreleasable films.
Okay.
All right.
So tune in a future Ridge for
Where
what
we
we just
spend-
butted Cody.
Where we spend 30 minutes talking about Lord of the Rings and then 10 minutes talking
Yeah,
about.
we'll have that Lord of the Rings person on
Yeah.
for that episode.
I
Okay.
can't wait to do a Lord of the Rings episode with them.
Do we have any top of the head that have been released? Cody,
No.
Did you just get divorced?
Yeah.
Is that what happened there?
do you have?
Tyler
any,
just pulled off his wedding ring.
Do you have any recent bombs you want before I do the list?
Well, we got the.
No, it's fine, Cody. I wasn't talking.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Tyler, do you have any?
Hey, Daniel, speaking to your microphone.
It's all right.
This is a couple episodes full of sass.
Welcome to the last episode of Damage Control Podcast.
At least the last one with Cody.
In preparation for this episode, I watched Dial of Destiny,
Ooh, that makes a list.
and I watched Jungle Cruise.
That made the list. Yep.
And I don't know if this made the list. I read conflicting things. Uncharted.
That was on the list, but I heard it wasn't on. I have different sources.
I would actually kind of want to see Uncharted, but it's one of those movies that I guess kind of forgot about.
I couldn't find it.
Obviously,
It was Uncharted. Where was that?
Where was it at?
It was Uncharted.
That was dumb.
That was dumb. Obviously, both
It's on Hulu.
like all of the Sony Spider-Man stuff's got to be on there. Madam Web and Morbius.
Has Craven fallen to that level
Craven,
yet?
easily Craven.
I didn't have that up to date of a list, but yeah, Craven.
Now see, like Red One.
Which one?
Red One. It said that it was a box office flop, but it made a shit ton of money because they like released it to streaming like super fast.
Yeah, like I loved Red One.
I
Red One
thought-
was fantastic.
I thought Red One was good, and the only reason I didn't see it in theaters is because I didn't have a chance. Mm-hmm. But
Do they release? How do they do streaming numbers?
Like,
but the
it's
thing-
got to be like they sell it to the streaming site. Like, streaming pays them, like, we pay you this X amount, and we'll pay you more depending on the number of views it actually gets, I believe.
Well, I think Amazon made Red One.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. Okay, I was gonna say Prime, but yeah, Amazon is Prime.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like rental numbers would count for that. Like, number of people who rented it or bought a copy of it.
But if Red One falls under the box office flop, I don't know why, because it was one of those movies that you watched it and it had one of the things that I liked where it has like the Santa Claus premise, and like anyone that is in that universe, like the Rock's character or anyone in the North Pole characters, they say the most ridiculous things, but they say them so seriously and so convincingly, where it's like Santa Claus is missing. I'm like, I don't know. It's just good. Like it. I don't know how to describe it. But
What kind of hair did Chris Evans have?
good hair?
Facial
Good
hair?
hair, yes. And he had not like the full cap beard, but like probably about halfway in between.
What was his haircut?
It's just his normal hair.
Was it no? Well, he's going bald actually. So
You
a lot,
shut your fucking
lot,
mouth.
lot of the
You shut your mouth.
So a lot of the when he doesn't have when he doesn't have like the lower buzz cut, like he's open about it. He's not trying to. It's not a secret.
No.
If he has like the lower buzz cut, that's when it's his actual hair.
It's
so
not.
is it like fuller?
It's not
I don't
as
remember
nice.
being fuller.
It's not as nice as Infinity War, where it's like windswept. It's like in between. And
This is off topic, but I really like Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow hair in Infinity War.
no.
I like it.
The blonde?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
terrible.
Oh,
She's way too washed out.
okay. All right.
And also, come on, redheads are sexy.
Yeah.
You gotta leave your red
One
hair.
last point on the Chris Evans. I like how he's tries to be edgy and stuff so he can distance himself from Captain America. So he was just a naughty boy. Because he's on the naughty list.
Yeah, he's a level 4 naughty list.
Yeah, that's all.
But
Okay.
yeah, red one.
I-
If that falls under the flops, it shouldn't, because it was a good.
It was.
It was a good movie.
Absolutely. Was.
Okay. According to IMDb, some sort of internet movie database website,
Huh. Okay.
for 2020, these are
The 2020s.
2020 bombs.
All right. Hold on.
Of the year 2020.
Okay. Before we go through the list, how would we define a bomb? What counts as a box office bomb?
Us personally, or logistic, or
Yes.
I would say if it doesn't make its budget back.
If
so
it
the-
doesn't make at
That-
least what
that's-
they put
that's
into
how-
it to make it.
So personally, a bomb for me is like if I didn't enjoy it. But I think the actual term is if you don't earn your budget back. So a budget, if its budget's $50 million, it's actually got a budget of $100 million because you got $50 million for the movie, $50 million for marketing.
Okay.
So that's how most of them consider, and it's domestic. Like most bombs, it's just domestic. They can usually get their budget back.
So,
DVDs
like
or-
how some of the Transformers movies were technically bombs in America, but because they did so well overseas, they were still financially
yeah,
successful.
Japanese love giant robot shit.
You just now figuring that out?
I'm
They
slow.
got-
There's
I-
only been Japanese giant robot shit since the 60s at
I'm
least.
slow.
When you're that fucking short, you want to have
No.
Ooh.
Oh God, you're
I'm
stepping on
not
Adam.
tall. They don't need to know
That
that.
is
What
true,
about
you're
Yao
very tall.
Ming? Wait, is that a real person?
They were
Yeah,
Chinese.
that's
He's not a real
Oh, he's
person.
not Chinese. He's Chinese.
He's Chinese.
Yao Ming.
He's not a real person.
Oh, okay.
He's a whole bunch of people stacked.
What about God? Okay.
Did you guys ever watch Drawn Together?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my god! Like when they get the sweatshop together and they Voltron. It's like, oh, I forgot they could do
Wait. Is that's the superhero one, right?
No, drawn together is where you have different animated characters from different, like, so you had a Disney princess.
But there
you
was a
had
superhero
Pikachu.
guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
Yeah,
that's
they-
the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah,
a
okay.
Gay Link and,
All right.
and Betty Boop and
What's Link from?
Video
Zelda.
game.
Just shut the fuck up before I slap you.
Okay. All right. So Bond. They only did 8, so I only did 8 because I couldn't make one up. Okay, so 8.
That's the dedication that you can expect here at Damage
Adam,
Control Podcasting.
For the future, when we do a list like this, do make one up, throw it in the list to see how well we can suss out the fake one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like and Morbius and Craven and Infinity War
And Spider-Man No Way Home.
No, like make up your own movie.
Don't
and, like,
make him work that hard.
The Daisies Talk, something like that.
That's a great fucking movie. You wash that out of your mouth.
Okay, I made a joke. Is it a real movie?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Probably.
Like
Adam and I were going for the same joke, and he just beat it to me. So.
well, it's just like you're more prolific than I am in watching media and whatnot. So I don't know if it's like, oh yeah, this is a movie
Well,
from the '50s or something. Like I got the VHS bootleg copy. And
I thought
made
for sure
some-
he was going to say you're more prolific about making shit up.
You're more of a hipster.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So the number 8 bomb of 2020 was Like a Boss. Anyone see that?
Never heard of it.
Some of these, that's why I was hoping you guys would.
Yeah, wasn't that like? I feel like that one. I've seen previews for that one. It was like a comedy or something like that, where where like the boss like it was like a Weekend at Bernie's premise. Where, like the boss died and the guy had to step up and take the position or something like that. I
where
think.
we got Google working.
All right, so it's got Tiffany Haddish. Two friends with very different ideals start a beauty company together. One is more practical, while the other wants to earn her fortune and live a lavish lifestyle.
Oh, that was not the movie I was thinking of at all.
Okay. Number
that-
7, the
that-
number 7 bomb of 2020.
It's got Rose Byrne in it.
Onward.
Yeah, so
that is crap.
okay.
Okay.
So Wikipedia is saying it had a budget of $29 million, only made $30.4 million. So
Is
it made
this-
$1 million over budget.
Is this no? So if it had a budget of 29, it actually had a.
But
Yeah, you
I'm
have to be
just
less
going to
than
do the
twice the
box
budget.
office and the and we can. You've done the math for us. Like
Oh, God, if I
mentally,
did-
everybody can just do what you just said.
Gotcha. Okay. So
On-
explain why. Was that
Onward-
was that the budget for Onward?
No, that was the budget for Like a Boss.
Okay, we'll look up for the budget for Onward.
Well, I guess
real
this is not taking into account any of the COVID restrictions or anything.
quick. No.
So Onward is a Disney movie, animated. It's set in like a fantasy world where magic developed to like a certain point, and then people are like,
We're good.
it basically
Oh,
it's
okay.
like the opening sequence is them talking about magic, and you've got a wizard and he like creates fire, and then like it pans over and it's someone inventing the light bulb, and it's like, well, why should I have to worry about this when I can just flip a switch?
Yeah.
And it's where like technology has taken over, like ferries don't fly anymore because there's no point, because
So-
there's aircraft and cars and everything.
So why is it bad? What makes it bad? Did you see it?
No, yeah.
It was
My
a good
kids love
movie.
it. It's a good movie. So the two main characters, their dad dies, and when they're one of the kids,
Oh, and they try and resurrect him.
yeah,
Yes, I've seen that movie. That movie's fantastic.
and so like they
So
do
this
a
might have been a
spell.
pandemic fatality. This might have been a casualty of the pandemic, maybe.
Well, it might
Probably.
be like it was one of those Pixar movies, and I think it was just maybe it was. I think it came at a time where there was a lot of good animated movies out, and maybe I think it was just sort of fatigue.
It's definitely one that like kind of like fell underneath the radar. Like I don't know what happened there, but like I remember seeing ads for it. It came out and then it just kind of disappeared. And I watched it last year.
I think
And
it like
it's
almost
just
went like right to streaming, but
Right.
like it doesn't give. So like the whole point is the younger brother wants to meet his dad, and he's got 24 hours, and hijinks ensues, and then like he gives his older brother the chance. So like
Oh, and it was yeah. Sorry, it.
Cody, we're just giving you shit.
There is
Go
going to
ahead.
be a Cody fatality in this episode.
I'm sorry.
Just go, dude. We're just giving
go
you shit.
ahead.
Go ahead. We're just giving you shit.
Another contributing factor is it released during COVID-19. There was a lot of theater closure.
what was that?
I don't know, something that happened during 2020.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, okay, so number 6. This one I'm kind of butthurt about. Not particularly because I like the character, but I like the adjacent characters that I think it's now not going to happen. Bloodshot.
Oh,
I really wanted
that.
that.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I really wanted that to be good because I wanted to see Ninjak, I wanted to see Man of War, I wanted to see Shadow Man, but because
Harbinger.
Yeah, because Bloodshot, and it's on Hulu, it's free, it's streaming, and I'm sure it's good. I can't say that it's bad, but like the trailer looks so bland that I just don't want to give it a shot.
So Bloodshot, legit, also very good.
Very good. Okay.
I really enjoyed it. It doesn't really stand out as more than kind of a standard action movie, but it doesn't really need to be something more than a standard action movie.
Is it kind of like
one premise that I really like is there's a twist in it, and the twist comes a little bit late in
it's
the movie.
Dom from Fast and the Furious.
No.
Oh, okay.
But the twist
for the family.
So it's one of those things that, like, if you don't get invested in it and miss the relevance of the twist, then you're just going to go, this is just a dumb action movie. But if you pick up on the twist when they kind of, like, when it gets revealed and you've been invested in the all the way through, the movie is fantastic.
Do they show any hints to like the wider Valiant universe?
I do not remember anything beyond Bloodshot in that, but that I'm also not the biggest Valiant fan, so there could have been some subtle nods that I missed.
More information about Bloodshot. It again released during like right when the pandemic basically started. So that
these are all 2020.
So budget of $45 million, only made $37.3 million.
Yeah, okay. So number 5 is the one I disagree with. I saw this with my daughter. Very cool. Underwater. Kristen Stewart.
Oh, is that that's the horror movie where the Cthulhu just kind of rises up? Yeah, I saw that too, and I liked it.
I disagree.
Terrible name for it.
And it
were they not underwater?
Oh, they were underwater.
But yeah, it's kind of bland.
The name?
The title.
The
movie's awesome.
I kind of forgot about that movie. I saw it with.
But it was released
is that the
before
movie that you were
COVID.
obsessed with? Kristen Stewart in her underwear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Opening scene in her underwear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I went and saw that with Connor actually.
Yeah.
And
McGregor.
Yes.
Oh, he did our H.P. Lovecraft episode.
Yep.
What did he think of the Cthulhu?
He really liked it. We were watching it, and he's like, "Oh, this is straight up Cthulhu." And then we get a good shot of Cthulhu. It was like, well, "That's just fucking straight up Cthulhu."
Because the guy that directed it, he didn't write it, and they didn't have there was like it was in the script because I listened to the audio commentary. In the audio commentary, the director was talking like, yeah, and then in the script it's like just the monster arises. And he kept saying, well, so what does the monster look like? Oh, we'll deal with it later. So it came time to the VFX, and they were asking him, and he's like, well, he goes, just make it Cthulhu. And the guy's like, make it Cthulhu-like? He's like, no, literally, just make it Cthulhu. And and the guy's like, yeah, all right. And that's what it was. But yeah, I disagree with that. I liked Underwater.
Yeah, the movie was good. I mean, it would have been better if it wasn't Kristen Stewart, but it still wasn't bad.
She had her short hair. I like her with her short hair.
Yeah, but she can't act worth shit.
Nah, she acted in that one.
Budget of $50 to $65 million.
Underwear is not acting.
That was my ad lib too. Yeah, she actually.
Box office was $40.9 million that brought in.
What was the budget?
It's $50 to $65 million. So like, I guess they can't describe exactly how much. I guess I don't know. Just says 50. Wikipedia, mind you.
Gotcha.
Somewhere in there, 50 to 65, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
still made less than 50.
We'll get an actually
from
the budgetary committee of Underwater.
The number 4 bomb of the year was The Last Full Measure. It was a military movie. Number 3.
What do you think it was? Like a cup, tablespoon?
No.
This is saying this is a 2019
a yard.
movie.
A yard.
It came out internationally in 2019. I looked up the same thing.
Full Measure. Sebastian Stan's in it. 34 years.
Is it a cooking movie?
No.
Okay, number 3.
Is it a movie about architects?
I've never even heard of it.
Number 3. Tyler will probably
damn.
Tyler will probably have something to say about it.
Okay, so deficit of $17 million. So million. Like cost $20 million, only made $3.4.
Well, that's because the reason
Nobody
why
fucking saw that movie.
the reason why it cost so much, they had because he was shooting a Winter Soldier thing, and Marvel refused to have him take the arm off, the fake arm, and they
Okay, I thought she was doing a real thing, but
okay. It was the arm gate. Okay, number 3. Tyler might have something to say about this. Maybe you guys. I don't know. Doolittle, Robert Downey Jr.'s first movie after Iron Man.
It just wasn't good. Like they.
Oh, I thought you liked. Okay.
They jam packed it with so many.
Speaking of jam packed, didn't there have something to do with a dragon's ass?
Yeah. They
jam pack a dragon's ass.
I think so.
So to like get this,
I fucking need to watch Doolittle.
to get this medicine or whatever to save the queen, they either jam something up or pull something out of a dragon's ass. It's like a set of bagpipes or something.
Wait a minute, there's a dragon in Doolittle?
Yes, at the very end, like
a real dragon?
Yeah.
Well, it was probably CGI, but
It's like I said, they
you're not allowed to use dragons in film anymore. They're
That's a shame.
They-
Fucking PETA.
they put
PETA Wilson? I don't think she had anything to do with it.
okay. So with a budget of 175 million
Interrupts
to
you again.
I know, right?
192.4. It goes faster than the lull of the conversation. I thought I had time.
Jesus Christ! Speaking of PETA and dragons, did you know that in the 4th Harry Potter movie, if you watch to the end, there's an end-credit scene where it says no dragons were harmed in the making of this film?
Oh, speaking of bombs, good segue, Tyler.
Okay, number
Jesus
2.
Christ!
The number 2 bomb of this movie.
Wait, did we? Hold on. Did Cody finish his interruption of Tyler's interruption? Because we still have to go back and finish those Satans.
Okay, so it cost about $200 million for Doolittle. The movie only made $251 million, so there was a positive 51. But if you account for marketing, I guess that's why it was considered a failure.
I think almost every single thing was CGI in the movie.
That explains a $200 million budget for Dr. fucking Doolittle.
Well, and probably what they had to pay Robert Downey Jr. because after Iron Man, he's like, he doesn't do anything for less than a certain amount of fucking money.
But I think it was his movie, though. It was
him
his
and-
company, wasn't it?
Him and his wife produced it.
Man, that really humbled him. Okay, number 2, bomb of the year. The Call of the Wild, that Harrison Ford dog movie.
Didn't see it.
Is that a Harrison Ford dog movie?
Yeah, it's like he lives in Alaska.
He is
and
the
he's
dog?
No. He lives in Alaska with the dog, and it kind of like a.
I saw.
Oh, you know what? I remember hearing about this movie.
Yeah.
I did not see it.
I heard about the book.
You weren't the only one that didn't see it.
Like I remember the book, but basically it gives me my favorite. It gives me my favorite meme from that year. It's a picture of. They take basically the poster. It's him right next to the dog. When you realize you ate some magic mushrooms and haven't been flying around the galaxy with a Wookiee all these years.
All right, now that's a good gig. I like that.
Did you get the budget real quick?
Yeah, I was working on it. Let's talk
Sorry,
about it a
I
little.
had snow removal all week, so I fell behind on my writing. I'm sorry.
Sure. It didn't snow
That much
once
cocaine,
here.
huh?
Didn't snow once here.
So there's a lot of CGI in that movie as well. So
Right.
it costs
There is?
100. Yes, well, all the dogs are CGI.
Why don't they use real dogs?
Because
PETA, Wilson.
real dogs are hard to train, and you can't.
Dogs can't
What
look
the
up.
fuck?
Dogs
They're,
can't.
they're
it
like
is-
the easiest animal to train.
Dogs
if
can't
if
look
you
up.
want dogs to do something comedic and
Oh, I
sort of
see,
thing,
I see,
it's
I see.
easier just to animate the dog than like, okay, you do these things to make it look like you're doing this.
Next, you're going to tell me that all dogs go to heaven was not real.
Plus,
dogs.
you got Harrison Ford. He probably didn't have the patience to be like, we need to do this for the 700th time.
Like I say, wasn't Strays like shot with all real dogs with CG mouths?
Yes. So it costs
shot
150
a
million.
Yeah.
Cost 150 million. Only made 111.1 million back.
Dang.
So it, even without marketing factor in, it lost $39 million.
Fair enough.
That's nothing.
I still want to go back to the dogs are notoriously hard to train.
Well, it's one of the things now, like because of PETA and stuff like that. If they use not real dogs, they don't have to worry about animal regulations or somebody's on their ass all the time. You're abusing these animals and stuff like that. So they eliminate that completely. They get the dogs to do exactly what they want to do because they storyboard and plan everything out.
I don't think
3, a lot of that was green stage, I believe.
Green screen.
stage.
Green screen.
Green screen.
Green screen because they didn't go to the Alaskan wilderness.
Sure.
Shit, they didn't.
And so they don't have to worry about cramped conditions with a wild animal. Well,
Yeah.
not a wild animal. You know what I mean.
Notoriously hard to train.
Okay.
Okay.
You're getting hung up on my wording.
All right,
yes, because we
let's-
have bomb-sniffing dogs. We have drug-sniffing dogs.
Let's-
you train
let's-
a dog
to
to
do
die
a
when
lot
you
of
shoot it with a finger.
Cody, let's scootaloo along.
Well, I guess about one last thing.
Okay, all right.
A lot of dogs that are portrayed in movies are portrayed by multiple actors as well. Multiple dog actors. Like I think
Right,
Air
for
Bud
animal
was
fatigue.
like 6 different dogs
Sure.
in the single movie. So you eliminate multiple dogs on set. You get them to do exactly what you want them to do.
I
and you
think-
can make them do unrealistic things dogs would never be able to do.
I'm
Okay.
not saying there's not a lot of practical application to using CG over real animals. That I get. Notoriously hard to train is where I'm stuck on here.
Ooh, okay. So they went with a CGI dog to give a fuller range of emotion and expression, and to avoid putting any real dogs at risk. And then it goes on to say, Cody's fucking wrong. They're really easy to train.
Wow.
Okay, the first part was real.
Okay,
And
all
so
right.
was the second part.
Right. Now I can't wait because the person who actually does trains dogs. So I cannot wait for her to listen to this episode.
She ain't making it this far in the Okay,
She'll get to the Lord of the Rings part and be like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly.
all right. The biggest bomb of 2020, according to Internet Movie Database, the rhythm section. It's the Blake Lively action.
Is that
That's
is that the
an action
movie?
movie named Rhythm Section?
Yep.
Is that the movie that is starting all this crap with her and some other dude?
Oh, what's this crap you're talking about?
Blake Lively, like, accused of, I don't know if it was the director or another actor, of, like, sexual harassment or something.
Of her?
Yeah.
She's probably hanging around. Her and Ryan Reynolds just like dick around, and it was probably taken out of context. I don't know. Why
I don't
I'm
know the
defending
whole
her.
thing.
I don't know her. She may be an evil person. I have no idea who she
I
is.
don't know anything about
Cody, budget.
the rhythm section. Never
Okay,
heard
so
of it.
budget of $50 million, box office $6 million. Says it released on January
$6 million.
$6 million.
Holy shit!
It says it released January 31st, 2022. It praised Lively's performance, but was very critical of the plot. All-time worst wide opening weekend for a film playing over 3,000 screens. 2 weeks later, it suffered the biggest ever drop in screen when it was pulled from 2,955 theaters.
Wait, you said it had a wide open?
Yeah, like
Tell
wide
you,
open.
I
So it,
watched Blake Lively wide open.
Eh?
Okay,
I don't get
alright.
it.
Enough sexism. Okay, 2021. We're moving to 2021. Biggest flops of 2021, according to Looper.com, our buddies at Looper.com. Number 8.
Wait, so we're using different sources for our...
Yeah, I thought it was funny, dude.
Yeah, all right.
I did that on purpose. I thought it was
Yeah, I
funny.
thought it would be funny to do.
I did because because they had the list in the Internet Movie Database, and I went to the next year. I'm like, nah, it's gonna be funny if I go to a different list.
We have to give all of our.
so
I
some
thought
of
it'd be funny.
So just some of the reasons people are saying it was like very predictable. The movie it was
Wait.
followed
Which one?
the last one we was talking about, the rhythm section.
The rhythm section.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very predictable plot. It was nothing tried and true that hadn't been done before.
What even was the plot? Like, I don't even know
It's-
anything about the movie.
It's like a revenge movie. Isn't it?
The woman tries to take revenge against people that's
Wronged
sabotaged a plane crash with her family or something.
Where'd
like
the
that.
fucking name come from?
I have no idea.
I thought it was like a drum movie almost.
I thought it was I got it confused with the J.K. Simmons movie where like he cusses everybody out.
Oh,
but
where he's a jazz drummer?
that's Whiplash,
This Whiplash.
which I mean,
Okay, according to Looper, 2021.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like Cody knows this movie. So Cody, don't take offense to this. For whatever reason, I pictured you when I read it. Spirit Untamed. It's an animated movie.
Is that the sequel to Spirit?
I'm not sure.
Stallion of the Cimarron, The Spirit.
Apparently, it was such a big flop. We don't even.
Spirit Untamed.
Daniel, we must ad lib while they're looking up the budget.
Right.
It actually is a
shit, you were
sequel
right.
to the horse movie. Spirit.
You're right. There you go.
I mean, the first Spirit movie, I don't think
Well,
did very well.
I think it was a horse
the
thing.
fuck?
I think it was
Yeah,
a horse thing. That's why I thought of you.
well, no, I've seen the original Spirit. The original Spirit's a fucking great movie.
Right.
Whoa. This looks like the animation looks like.
Is it
Right.
Applejackish?
No, I wish.
Oh.
It just looks like.
Oh, that
Really like
does
glossy.
not look great.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It's like the direct to video animation.
That looks like one of those like those old like 90s Barbie movies where it's like there's one point of articulation and everything is still.
I was gonna say that, but I was like, I don't want Adam to be like gay. So.
Okay, yeah. So so pandemic was a cause why it wasn't so successful. Other reasons too, which I was gonna say is like unneeded sequel. Like, the way the original movie ended is perfect. Like, the whole point is the guy trying to be free.
I'm sorry. I'm reading the reviews, and people are like, why was this made? Who asked for this? Simply a bad movie. I guess, like...
Cody, do you have the budget?
It was like a remake of the Spirit movie. And they're like, you changed everything about it. Like, I guess the first movie was about, like, a horse that wants to be free.
Yeah, like...
And this is, like, the horse, like, wants to, like, be on a horse farm or something like that. Like, it's, like, the exact opposite from what I'm reading.
It was an allegory.
I want to be tamed.
I fucking knew. When I saw this and I thought of Cody, I knew I wasn't wrong.
Like, the original movie was an allegory
I don't know why I was pointing so
of
aggressively.
the American Wild West back in the day, of colonization, of us taking stuff that was free, making it in prison. The whole story is about the horse trying to get back to his herd and be a free wild stallion.
Is the horse's name Willie?
No.
Wait. Wild Stallion was Keanu Reeves involved.
No. Name was Spirit. So he gets captured. Put into the army as a army horse, gets freed by a Native American brave. Finally, goes through this entire thing, almost sort of like War Horse, but less brutal
and more animated.
The War Horse has the unluckiest goddamn horse in film. Holy shit! Is that a terrible horse?
Do you have the budget?
Yes,
or unlucky horse anyway.
Budget of $30 million, box office $42.7 million.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Not too bad. Okay, I do have some questions about this one. Number 7, Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City.
Oh, that was decent. It was a straight to Netflix, but it was good.
Is the Raccoon City, is that a translation from the Japanese games? Why is it called Raccoon City?
Because they have like a city mascot, which is like a anthropomorphic raccoon.
Oh, it's not like a metaphor for anything?
No, as far as I know.
Okay.
So the name of the city is Raccoon City, or that's like a nickname?
No, that's the name of the city is Raccoon City.
Oh, okay.
And then I guess they made a mascot, which is like Mr. Raccoon, and I don't remember the name of the mascot, but you can find them in the video games. But.
Raccoon.
Budget of $25 million, box office $42 million.
Yeah, like the movie was great. Like it was one of the better side.
It had Arrow's brother.
Well, this is maybe also another part of the conversation, real quick, that we might want to interject in. Like, are people's expectations are inflated nowadays? That if a movie doesn't make quadruple what you put into it, it's a failure nowadays.
Well, I think it's because of the superhero movies. If they can, for a while they were all making $1 billion.
Right.
So if it doesn't make $1 billion, it's not a success.
Right, but you can make a product, get a little bit more profit than what you put into it, and still be fine, and it still be a thing. But because now expectations are too high because of superhero, like anything less than that is just fucking worthless.
Basically. That's why even when movies do good, if they don't do astronomical, then they're just like, there's no point. That's why I think like some movies that make money, they're just like, nope, didn't make enough. There's no point in continuing. Let's just redo it.
Right. See, that was the part that. So I had a old boss that was trying to teach me business, and he was a fucking douche. But he made a good point to me once. There was a business in my town growing up that was closing because it wasn't making enough money. Mm-hmm. And he's like, that's a ridiculous concept. If your effort and your work and your employees generate $1, then it's worth keeping that business around. Mm-hmm. It doesn't become worth the effort as soon as you start making negative $1.
That's what it's. I mean, related to that the Arizona iced tea company, where people are like, why don't you charge more? I make money.
He's like, I don't.
Yeah. Why do I need to make? Well, you can charge 3 times as much. Yeah, but I make money now. Like, all my bills are paid, and I have enough. That's what I don't get about some of these movies. Like, where like they're genuinely good movies, and you're like, yeah, I'd like to see a sequel, and they're like, nope, we're not gonna do it.
Yeah, it didn't make enough money.
Yeah,
But you're thinking of the art side of Hollywood. You also got to picture the business side.
Well,
of
that's
Hollywood.
just it. Like, the business side is drowning out the art.
I think it's always been that way, though.
Well,
Not anymore.
Anyway, number 6, 5, 4, and 3. Because I don't think we have a lot to. Maybe okay, just cut me off. So 6, 5, 4, and 3. But bombs of 2021. Number 6 was The Last Duel.
never heard of it.
Yeah.
That's that Ridley Scott one. Dear Evan Hansen.
Never
okay,
heard of it.
that's like, there's a famous Broadway
Yeah.
show called
Is
Dear
it?
Evan
That was
Evan
the
Hansen.
movie
So it's the
version of
movie
that.
version of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was the Catch Predator guy.
No, that's
Chris
Chris
Hansen.
Hansen. That's his brother. Number 4, Joe Bell.
Yeah.
And then number 3, I feel like some of you guys may have seen this. Chaos Walking.
I haven't even heard of any of those
That's
4 movies.
Daisy Ridley and Tobey
Oh.
Maguire. Not Tobey Maguire. The other Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield?
The
Tom
other
Holland?
one. Tom
Tom
Holland.
Holland?
Where she lands on an alien planet with these guys, and all their thoughts can be seen, but the women's thoughts can't. Whatever guys think, it projects
No
an
one
image above
escapes
the head.
noise.
And,
I mean, it looks kind of cool.
okay.
Joe Bell made it. Doesn't even say what it cost to make it. It made 1.7 million.
Yeah.
Never
Ouch.
even heard of this.
Okay.
It's a
would
Mark Wahlberg too. That's the surprising part.
Joe Bell?
Yeah,
Oh,
Joe
shit.
Bell stars
Joe
Mark Wahlberg.
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 Okay, number 2. I think Tyler's seen this. Number 2 bomb of 2021. Reminiscence. It's that Hugh Jackman movie that looks kind of like Inception.
Reminiscence.
It's on Max.
Reminiscence.
It's where he goes inside of people's memories, kind of just basically Inception, but instead of
Nope.
dreams.
But I'm gonna fucking watch it.
Okay. All right, and this one I know Daniel's at least seen and watched me make an ass of myself. The top bomb of 2021, according to Looper.com, is Snake Eyes.
I have not seen Snake
Fuck,
Eyes,
I made an ass of
actually.
myself.
Yeah. Because it just didn't look good. I mean, G.I. Joe Ninja movie, sure, but
Didn't to me, wasn't it just they were doing the X-Men Origins Wolverine type thing?
Yeah,
basically.
They were like, hey, people fucking love Snake Eyes. Let's take Snake Eyes out of the G.I. Joes and just give him his own movie.
No, it was the Snake Eyes of G.I. Joe's, but I think I think I could be wrong, but I think a couple things have happened. One, people love Ray Park.
Yeah.
People really love Ray Park. Ray Park was Snake Eyes. They didn't let him. Maybe Ray Park didn't, because Ray Park's a stuntman. Maybe he can't act well enough to be a lead in a movie. Fair enough. But correct me if I'm wrong.
But he wasn't Snake Eyes when he had the helmet on and everything?
Yes, he was. No. Henry Golding, the actor, was also in the helmet as well
Oh.
for this movie.
Oh.
Ray Park. Well, but what I'm saying is, correct me if I'm wrong, because they
You're
were
fucking wrong.
probably, but this was during a lot of the social wars. But I think because they demanded an Asian person be Snake Eyes, but I'm pretty sure Snake Eyes was American.
he was.
And the Cobra Ninja was Asian.
Yes,
right?
Storm Shadow is from
Right.
Japan, but yeah, Snake Eyes is an American.
But I think in that
and
I know
the movie series they made him.
No, in the first 2 G.I. Joe movies, when they show Snake Eyes as a kid, he is a Caucasian.
Oh, see,
now Henry Golding, the actor, is American,
Well,
but
I couldn't tell.
But he's
I mean-
of Asian descent. Where I think the character actually is English, right?
yeah, I think he's American. I think
Right.
he's I don't think he has any significant descent. I think he's like standard Caucasian. And
I could be wrong. I don't know.
I don't remember. I've got a couple G.I. Joe comic books over there, and I don't remember him being of I don't remember being Chinese or Japanese or Korean or anything.
And
like
it's
that.
weird because if you had to gamble, you would have thought Snake Eyes would be. If someone put a gun to your head and be like, name a G.I. Joe character can handle a solo movie, you would think it'd be Snake Eyes.
Of course.
Because pretty much everyone knows Snake Eyes from G.I.
But
Joe.
also, all the G.I. Joe movies leading up to Snake Eyes were bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of the thing, my rub there is that, like, none of the characters were interesting enough to will another character into being. Like,
But I think the second one was a step in the right direction, though.
it was probably the step in the right direction, but literally all the characters looked the same.
Wasn't the
Like,
second
you
one
can't
where they
tell.
Sorry, I
Go ahead.
pulled a Cody.
That's fine.
No, go ahead.
Like, you can't tell any character are different from each other. Like, I could not tell you, like, any of the characters' names from any of the actors other than Scarlet, and even then I may get that one wrong.
Yeah, they needed to do what they did in the cartoons. Get rid of the real guns, give them lasers, put fucking people in Hawaiian outfits, put fucking people with doll. Like,
Yeah.
gun to my head, I would make a solo movie about Chuckles. That's the dude in Hawaiian outfit.
But see, that's the thing where you come back to where you put people in, like for comic book movies, you make them comic book accurate, and then people complain about how it looks.
But you can't get a Hawaiian shirt wrong. Like, there's
No,
nothing
I
really
know.
sci-fi-ish about the outfits. And
Well,
I know that, but then you're gonna have people complain, and yes, people are always gonna complain, but
'Cause
they'll
they
be
put-
like, "Why is he wearing a Hawaiian outfit? He needs to be wearing this
Yeah, black tactical gear."
And aren't
Yeah.
we still in the age of people trying to take things and make it dark and gritty?
I think James Gunn's starting to get away from that.
well,
Yeah, I mean, dark and gritty and all that, but, like, the people who would appreciate that movie or make that movie successful are the ones who want to see the comic accurate stuff.
I agree, but at the same time, and I hate to say this because it stuck in my head from when Green Lantern came out.
it
He's
didn't
like,
make it for me, yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's like with the James Gunn movie, the Superman movie, where everyone's like, Guy Gardner's hair looks fucking stupid. It's
Like-
like, yeah, but you gave him the fucking bowl cut that I want to see.
Now, I will say that some, like, direct, like, comic
Well,
carry
why are
over-
you laughing?
because I'm not letting him get a word out.
Oh,
edgewise.
all right,
Some of the
gotcha.
direct comic like carryover costumes look a little bad on the screen. Like Guy Gardner looks bad.
Yes.
I understand it's 100% comic accurate, other
Yes.
than his hair is a little bit more blonde. I did not like the head sleeve on Gambit.
Yes.
I think it looked like they just kind of
It was like
they
squishing his
squished.
face.
Yeah. The Wolverine mask surprisingly looked bad, in my opinion. Because
Like,
they
bad
did
isn't bad or bad isn't horrible.
bad isn't horrible because they did like the white eyes on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't
so
he
I
have white eyes?
In the comics, sure, but it looks better in the comics because it's not as obviously like a mask because you can
got it.
make it part of his face in the comics. You know,
Gotcha.
so there are some like aspects of those different comic accurate costumes where I'm like, those could have done some updating while staying true to the personality and or the style of that outfit. But then you have go ahead.
no, like, because me and Daniel were actually just having this conversation the other day of like about how Guy Gardner looks, and part of me is wondering if this is James Gunn's way of saying like, all right, you want comic accurate shit? Here you go. And kind of showing you like, this is the reason we technically don't do this all the time.
See, I
don't-
could go on a huge rant about that trailer.
Let's not. We already went on one Lord of the Rings rant, so we'll do that later.
No, but that was what I was getting at when I brought it up. It's
Do you have the budget?
You're trying to you can't make everyone. They're like, okay, let's make the people happy that are going to give us the most money.
And-
Like, isn't that what they did with they only recently gave Optimus Prime like his G1 look in the movies.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to update it and be like, all right, well, we'll give a little bit to the actual fans, but we want to get other people hooked on it looking like this.
Yeah, and I will still stand that the Bumblebee Optimus Prime was the best looking Prime that we've gotten on screen for that's not animated.
I think when you're adapting something as huge of an IP as anything, Batman, G.I. Joe, you need you need two people. You need the one who knows how to make a movie, knows how to tell a good story, knows how visually and with words that I can't apparently use very well. And then you need the fanboy. Because you need those two people. They can't be the same person. And you can't have the guy like Michael Bay. I don't give a shit about this property. I'm just going to make a movie. You can't have that guy because then you get the Michael Bay Transformer movie.
Right.
You know, that's why you had Joseph Nolan, who was a huge, huge Batman fan, and then you had Christopher Nolan, who liked Batman, but wasn't like sucking at the teat that is Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they made 2 good Batman movies.
Dark Knight Rises is awesome. I don't know why you guys hate Dark Knight Rises.
It is god-awful. It is such a terrible adaptation of Nightfall.
And a perfect example of the other way around, the opposite of Michael Bay. And as much as I love him, he needs that other person, and that's Zack Snyder. Because he is the auteur, he is the guy that knows how to tell a good movie, but he's also the fanboy, and he wants to fucking put everything in. And there's not the guy to be like, we don't need Doomsday in this movie.
Yeah.
It's too but it wouldn't it be
Let's
cool?
make the
No,
Batman v Superman movie where they fight for longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, like he needs the guy. He needs the non-fanboy part of that formula to come in and have the balls to step on his throat metaphorically every now and then. You know what I mean? Whereas Michael Bay didn't have the fanboy, or because I guess Michael Bay's notorious for being a dick apparently, but he needs the fanboy part of to be during the Transformers part, because Michael Bay can tell good stories visually. I mean, his movies are. Oh, sorry.
Do you want the box office numbers? For...
Yes, I do. I will shut up.
It's 110 million that they put into it, and only made 40 million, so a deficit of 60 million.
So
Plus,
look at Cody with that math
70.
skills.
Well, I rambled for. Okay, all right.
You know what?
Let him have it. Let him have it, okay?
Yeah, 70 million deficit plus marketing.
Okay. All right. Now, according to Deadline.com, our other friend,
Yeah.
2022, the bombs of 2022. Number 8. This one's going to hit Tyler hard. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore.
I stopped watching. I saw the first Fantastic Beasts, and it was good, but 2 and 3, I just had no desire to watch it.
Was the
Expecto bullshit
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, the expecto bullshit is too high.
Like, I'm fine with there being like extensive lore and everything like that, but it's like, okay, you're trying to put too much stuff
Do you think the
into it.
Johnny Depp Amber Heard shit hurt that movie?
That's
that
what
was
I was
right-
about to say.
that
Were
was
they
what-
in the movie?
Johnny Depp is.
And then he gets
he's
recast.
Gryffindor.
He's
Or not Gryffindor. Grindelwald.
Well, like
He got recast?
yeah, in the third one he becomes Mags Mikkelsen. I don't want to butcher his name.
Wait, Secrets of Dumbledore is the second one?
Third one.
Third one.
No, he's not in that movie. He becomes Mads Mikkelsen in this one.
He become like within the universe?
Yeah, he
Oh, because he's older.
no, like he changes his appearance. Like I've never seen it.
Oh, that's so
I know what happens, but like they were trying to like make another Harry Potter series, and it's the problem with doing a prequel series. Like, you know where it's going to end.
Yes.
Like, you know that Dumbledore and Grindelwald are supposed to have this amazing battle that no one, it's so spectacacular and powerful that people can't even describe it, because it's the two most powerful people.
It's the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh, what's the Clone Wars?" Then George Lucas showed what it was, and I was like, "Oh, that's
Yeah,
what the Clone Wars was."
you build it up so much in your head that you make it something that even these people that might be amazing filmmakers can't live up to. And it was just, they're like, they like set up so many different plot threads that they're like, wait a minute. And it's you had another instance where you had no fanboy.
Is that also when?
there.
Is this also when J.K. Rowling started fighting everyone on TikTok
Yeah,
or Twitter or whatever?
Well, I don't think she was she said one thing and then everyone like hit, and then she's like, okay, I'm just gonna back away from everything else.
Gotcha.
But you had people that had like a rough idea of everything, and they're like, well, let's put this character in.
Wait,
and you had like no one there that's like, well, you can't put that character in because that character's not supposed to be there, because you have lore already that says they can't be there yet.
Was J.K. Rowling involved in any of these movies, or she just put her name on it?
I think she just kind of like put her
One of
name
those
on it.
Wes Craven Presents type
Yeah.
movies? Gotcha. Cody?
This is one that I think maybe marketing's really did a number on it, I guess. Like, it had a budget of $200 million, and it made $407 million.
But if it had a budget of 200, it would be 400. So it'd be 400 million.
Yeah, so if you're
it
doing
only
the
made
marketing
7
thing,
million. Yeah.
like I guess it broke even.
Because I think it did have a pretty hard push because it was being shackled by the Johnny Depp.
I want a world where I make $7 million and go, yeah, I guess I broke even.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
this
that,
one,
and you had Ezra Miller in there, and Ezra Miller.
Oh,
I think
Ezra Miller was in it?
oh
Yeah.
shit, yeah, I forgot about
he-
who has a better haircut?
Oh,
Johnny Depp or
Johnny
Mads
Depp.
Mikkelsen?
Wow. I thought you were going to go with
in
Ezra
the
Miller.
in the movie.
Yeah,
Max Mikkelsen.
was it just slicked back?
Yeah,
He looks-
like-
he looks
he's
good.
got like
He
the
looked
cool
distinguished.
Yeah, he's got the cool slick back
like
hair.
swirl, whereas Johnny Depp had like the shaved
Yeah.
sides and like
The
the
spiky.
pushback.
You can't do the slick back hair if you have thick hair because it like puffs up.
Oh, I got thick hair.
Yeah,
All right.
so, and that was at the end of Johnny Depp's court case with
I think
news
it was
outlet.
I think it was in the middle of it, wasn't it? 2022. That was like the whole year.
Like he was slated to do like one scene where I guess he transformed into Mad Mikkelsen, but then they clearly said no, don't, please resign from this because of that.
I
court case.
don't think they said please. I think they just said no. You're not.
Well, you know how hard it is to get a mega pint of wine on film set for him?
You know how easy it is to shit in a bed? Pretty fucking easy, my friend.
Have you seen the SNL
Nightly.
sketch about that?
All right, number 7. This one I think you guys may have seen. The 7th bomb of 2022, DC League of Super Pets.
Nope, didn't see it.
I saw it.
Who did Keanu Reeves play? He played Batman or Batman's dog?
He played Batman.
Okay.
Kevin Hart played Ace. I mean, it's a kids movie. I mean, I watched it and it's like it's just like a fun kids movie. They've got like a. I'm trying to think of. It's basically a DC animated movie.
Basically a
but
Justice League, but they're all animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, go ahead.
no after you.
No.
After you.
I was just going to say that, like, this may be my age showing, but I would have watched it if it was a dark, gritty, like Zack Snyder-esque
Yes.
DC movie about the super pets. Like, I would have watched the shit out of that, but as soon as it's, like, bright and colorful and kitty, I'm like, eh.
Yeah, I mean that's
Crypto and Ace going at it in the corner.
that's
Yeah.
basically what it is. I mean, it's just a bright animated kids pet movie.
Yeah.
They've got they give
Who'd
they
The
give
Rock
Cyborg the half fro.
Who did The Rock play?
He played Crypto, and then he played
Black Adam's
Black
dog.
Adam.
dog at
Dog.
the end of the movie.
What's
they-
Black Adam's dog?
They were making fun of they were talking about like the Black Adam Superman end credits scene.
What type of dog was Black Adam's dog?
It was basically Crypto, but he was all black and had the
He's a
Shazam.
black lab.
Yeah.
What was his name?
They didn't say it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I have a few points to that as well. Like,
Who
it
the
just
fuck
seems like
do you
DC animated stuff pokes more fun at DC properties than anybody. Because the same thing happened with Teen Titans Go, where they make fun of DC live
Teen
action
Titans
stuff.
Go just looks stupid.
It is. They themselves know they're so bad that they're making fun of their own property. So there's this weird no solidarity on the DC side.
But yeah, I mean they do poke fun at it because like there's a scene where you've got Ace, the Bat Hound, and Batman, and they're both doing the my life's so dark and gritty because my parents were died, and then it cuts
My
to
parents were
My
died.
parents died. I was abandoned as a pup.
Cody wrote the script, and then it's like my life is dark and gritty because I was taken away from my family. Like it's poking fun at that. But yeah, it was a good movie.
Budget? Continue. I was just
okay.
reminding him.
Okay, so while Cody finds the budget on that, going back to the dark,
I mean, he's
gritty
only
idea
done it
of
for
the
the
League
last
of
20
Super
minutes.
Animals, I would love for a scene where like they're fighting and like Crypto beats Ace down and Ace is like woof, and Crypto's like, why'd you say that name?
All right, so budget of $90 million.
Okay.
Made $207 million adjusted for that. So
Damn. Maybe it was just an audience failure.
I think it was.
It's a movie that was made for kids. I mean, that's
Like,
Kids'
there-
movies
there's-
always kill it
yeah,
in the box office.
that's the long and short
Yeah,
of it.
fuck kids. Okay, so here.
Don't
say it like that.
No. I like how we were all just like, no.
Okay. All right. Here's 6, 5, and 4.
Okay.
Because I don't think we. Because I mean, I don't know. Stop me on any one you want. 6, 5, and 4 of 2022 bombs. Bros.
Never heard of it.
That was that. The guy that yells in the street at people. His gay rom-com.
Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner. Yeah. Number 5 is Babylon.
Nope.
Okay. 4, Devotion.
Nope.
Okay, now let's get into one I know at least Tyler's seen. Number 3, flop of 2022, Lightyear.
Lightyear?
Oh, that's the Chris Evans Buzz Lightyear movie.
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't.
God, no.
It wasn't a bad movie. I mean, it wasn't like a super good movie. I mean,
But here's the. I think Mr. Sunday Movies said this. It was supposed to be the movie that Andy watched to buy, but it was an adult themed.
yeah.
It was a. Why would Andy buy an action figure of this?
Yeah, because it starts off. It's like this is the movie that the Buzz Lightyear toy was based off of in like 1995, and you're like, no, it wasn't. This is not the movie that.
Because it looks like David Fincher made this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it involves time dilation. It involves like there's way more things that.
And it was in the middle of the social war again, which is fine.
Yeah.
But keep it out of keep the hardcore hitting social stuff out of kids stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
What was the big social conflict in that one?
I think it was a gay thing. I think one of the girl. No, I didn't mean to make it light. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to make
friends.
One of his
was a
lesbian.
and she kissed her partner.
Right.
So a lot of people.
I was
proved
making light of it because it wasn't like I don't know why people were fighting over it. That's why I was
Well,
making light of it.
it was just one of those things, like it specifically because it's tied to Disney.
Yeah,
Like
was-
there was a bigger deal than it was. Cause
It was because Disney, made it sound like it was the bulk of the movie. So then that pissed people off.
Mm-hmm.
Then it pissed people off because it wasn't a bulk of the movie. So
yeah, so they couldn't win.
was-
They tried to play both sides and they lost. And my point was, just fucking keep it out and just make a fucking entertaining kids movie. Or don't
Unless
even.
it's
You mean keep
unless-
the controversy out?
Yeah, just don't
Okay.
even advertise it. Just put it in there and let it fly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
Like, but then the same thing happened with Finding Dory back in the day. When Finding Dory came out, nothing on even the level of somebody kissing. There was just two women next to a stroller.
Yeah.
And it got thrown out of proportion, like, oh my god, lesbianism's in Disney now. That sort of thing.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was to the
ridiculous.
point
Dude,
of making
People
a
are stupid.
mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah, especially in this room.
Yeah,
But-
No
but the
shit.
thing with
I'm looking
the
at
thing
you,
with
Cody.
Lightyear is that Lightyear was made more for the kids that grew up watching the Toy Stories movies
Yeah.
than they were for like my kids now.
Right. It was. I kind of appreciate that because.
But they
like,
shouldn't have sold it as the movie that Andy watched.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have bought a fucking action figure of that shit as a 5-year-old or whatever it was Andy was.
Well, another problem I have with
I
it
completely
is
interrupted you.
they
No,
have
you're good.
canonically, like, even though it was a cartoon, they had a Buzz Lightyear cartoon that Andy watched that was all about Buzz Lightyear's adventures through space.
Yeah.
Like, they had that they could have just fucking built off of. Like, and then they, like, the Zurg was a real person in that cartoon.
Nope.
There was
Now
the wacky
Zurg is a future version of Buzz Lightyear that's traveled back through time.
See, that's too heavy for kids.
That's what I'm saying. It was marketed as a kids Buzz Lightyear movie when if they were going to make this the storyline, then just market it towards adults. I mean, if that's how you're going to do it.
Yeah, put more sex toys in it.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
Buzz
yeah,
and
the-
Woody.
Yeah.
Perfect sex toy names. And Zurg.
Andy's coming.
so
And Andy's mom.
Yeah.
So, budget of $200 million made $226.4 million in the
Alright.
box office.
Okay.
Like I said, it wasn't a bad movie, just wasn't marketed to the right group for that.
Okay, number 2. We can stop. We can fly past this one. Amsterdam. Okay. And
Fun City.
Never heard of it.
Fun City.
Fun City.
And the number one bomb of 2022, according to Deadline.com, Strange World.
Yeah, that's another Pixar bomb.
Not a bad movie, but it was another movie where there's the main character, his son is gay, and they market it as this huge revelation where, yes, it's in the story, but they alienated both sides. Like,
yeah, they tried to play both sides.
They're like, it pissed off the people that are like, that doesn't need to be in my cartoon. And then it pissed off the people that are like, you made this sound like it was a huge deal. And like, I mean,
they should have just put it in there and just marketed the movie as the
exactly. Like,
was it part of the storyline?
No.
Good.
I mean, all it is the guy was talking about how he had a crush on someone else. Like that was it. There was no romance. There was no nothing.
And
like I said, just put that in the movie.
Yeah, and just leave
it. Don't even hint at it.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all they needed. But as for it being a flop, I think that's what killed it. I mean, it had your basic story. It had a twist. And then I can't remember.
Was a Strange World Earth?
It's an Earth-like planet, but so you've got an explorer family. They go out and then they kind of they find this plant, and the guy brings it back, and like that what is kind of what creates their society. Like this plant generates something like electricity. So like they go from like rural to like now they've got flying cars and electricity. Well, then you find out that this plant is dying, so they go to save it. Well, the plant is actually killing where they live, like it's a virus, and you find out at the very end. I can't remember which culture it is, but like their whole world is on the back of a giant turtle swimming on this planet.
I believe that's a Hindu culture.
So, because like the father or the grandfather in the movie, the whole point is he's trying to get over these unpassable mountains to see what's on the other side of this valley.
The ice wall.
Yeah, basically. And you find out what's on the other side. Like their whole town is in the center of this turtle's back.
Oh, so it's flat Earth propaganda.
You know what the twist is? It's the turtle from Stephen King's It.
But the funny thing is, so the dad is played by Dennis Quaid.
Okay.
I'm pointing in that direction. And the son is Jake Gyllenhaal. Yep. And I guess they were doing an interview, and Jake was like, yeah, I played your son before. And he's like, no, you didn't. He's like, yeah, I did. And it was, he was talking about...
Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah, the day after tomorrow. He's
okay.
like, oh, forgot I made that movie.
Budget, Cody?
135 to 180 million budget. Kind of don't know what that's about. So it's like either stuff maybe got written off or no real factual information. Made 73.6 million.
Okay. Now, moving on to 2023. Look, checking for time. We're good. Moving on to 2023. Now I lied because I couldn't find. I had to go back to Deadline.com.
You liar! That's it. I'm done.
I can't believe this podcast.
According to Deadline.com,
It's so professionally unprofessional.
Yes, about previously on previously on Deadline.com on 2023, the number 8 bomb of the year. I know you two have seen it. Well, I know you've seen it. I make an ass of myself every time I say this.
Daniel's like never fucking heard of it.
65.
Oh, that was decent. I liked that.
Did you watch that one?
I did not see that.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, I knew you've seen it.
Yeah, I watched that with my dad. It was pretty solid.
Did he like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a little. The twist was kind of obvious, but overall, it was a pretty decent movie. Alien lands on Earth and
spoilers. So everyone, click off of this. The Lord of the Rings fan. This is the twist that they're aliens. They're not humans, and they come to Earth, primordial Earth, and they plant the seed for humans by accident.
Basically, yeah.
Or are they actually Earthlings from the future, and then it's like a snake eating its own tail type thing.
If I remember correctly, they are aliens coming and they leave the foundations for Earth.
And then they come to leave them.
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right. So do you
If
think
I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I think that was the plot.
So you don't think it deserves the bomb moniker? Or
No, I wouldn't call it a bomb. I mean, it's a decent enough movie. It didn't get advertised very well, and it's got a shit name.
well, it
But
was 65 million years ago, wasn't it?
yeah, that
like
was where the name
idea?
comes from. But it's a shit name. Like, it's a completely forgettable name. But it's decent. If you have not seen it and you like sci-fi stuff, I recommend
Is
it.
a lot
It's
of a lot of talking? Is there a lot of because there's just two people, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of like aliens with dinosaurs. It's like if you imagine the Alien movies with dinosaurs, because there's a lot of like dark like scenes where it's like there might be a monster here, and then it's a velociraptor. You know,
Is it
that kind
violent?
of- there's some
Well, I
violence.
mean, I
in
guess
it.
it can be. There's two people.
Yeah, the Velociraptor pulls out a fucking Uzi and just shoots at
Whoa,
this guy.
whoa, Seriously, are you being
Yeah.
serious right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
No, I'm pretty
it's
sure that
a-
happens in Velocipaster.
Oh, you dick. I was
Don't
gonna
get
say
me
that.
started in that.
Well,
fucking
there's
movie.
another-
I can't. I need to see it. I want to see it so bad.
Okay, it grossed 65.
You should watch The
million.
Sinstodian.
It grossed 65 million. Are you serious?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, that was a good one.
No, it cost $45 million to make, gross $60.7 million. Some of the reasons people are giving it released right alongside Scream 6
Right.
Oh, okay.
and
yeah.
Champions. People are saying maybe it was a reason like there's just a bigger movie right next door to it.
Okay.
And then personally, like, wasn't that a year before, or a year after one of the Jurassic Park movies came out?
Probably.
So it might have been like a dinosaur fatigue. Like, I already saw the good dinosaur movie.
I think also part of it
The
is
Good
Adam,
Dinosaur was an okay movie.
Adam
it
Driver
Yeah.
was in it, and like Adam Driver's fine in it, and I think he's a fine actor. I just think there's so much controversy around the sequel Star Wars series that him and Daisy Ridley will be a very long time before anyone appreciates their acting work.
You know, Adam Driver is one of the few people who can pull off the musketeer look, the mustache with like the really sharp, pointy goatee.
Yeah.
Not the bushy one, the really sharp one.
Yeah, he could do that.
He looks really good in it.
I
All right.
would watch a Three Musketeers movie with him in it.
Some of
As
the
D'Artagnan.
best stuff I've ever seen Adam Driver do was on Saturday Night Live. Like when he
As
plays
the old man.
The undercover boss on the Death Star.
Yeah.
Or
That's so
he
good.
does a knight at like a medieval times.
Mm-hmm.
That,
Oh,
like,
yeah, he is
that
like-
goes off script.
Hey, look, I know you're taking a drama class, but please.
He's like, "What do you have to say to your princess? Whore."
Okay, this one's going to hit hard for Tyler. The number 7 bomb of 2023, Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Oof.
It was just a movie that fell flat on its face.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the first Shazam. The first Shazam had emotion behind it. Like, I've rewatched the first one.
Okay.
There's this, the whole point of Billy trying to find his family, and this one it didn't have anything like that. And I like Zachary Levi a lot, but
Is this when he started losing his mind?
I kind of.
Or I don't know if he lost his mind, but he's like he's saying a bunch of shit that everyone's getting
It's when
mad
he
at him
was
for.
getting mad. He was fighting with The Rock because he wanted to do a Shazam versus Black Adam, and The Rock's like, "I'm not fighting you. I'm gonna fight Superman." And like they were going back and forth, and it was just your Billy Batson character was more mature than your Shazam character.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
it
you said that
was.
for you.
And like I said, it wasn't very good.
I have two quick. Go ahead.
Well, also super predictable twist.
Oh yeah.
Two quick questions. Anyone can answer. One, besides The Rock being in WWE, I'm taking anything away from that fighting and that physicality. Do you really think he could fight? Like, do you really think he could legit fight in like a street fight?
I think against a trained fighter, he's going to get his ass kicked. Against a everyday mook like us, he's just so physically active, and he knows how to move his body right. I think he could floor a lot of people.
Do you think if I had a baseball bat, I could, like a wooden baseball?
If you have
some,
He's had people come out with a baseball bat before. Even though he's going through the motions, he still sort of trains himself to sort of how you move your body to be safe while intercepting it, right?
Yes and no. I mean, a lot of what you see on like wrestling, the assaulter is protecting the defender.
yeah.
Not the defender protecting themselves. So there's a big part of that if you're talking about like wrestling skills. That being said, there are grains of truth in all wrestling moves. So with him being such a student of the art of wrestling, I would say that he would know how to adapt them to defend himself.
Okay, what about this?
If you're taking away, I thought you said you're taking away wrestling.
What about this? Mm-hmm. Me versus The Rock, but I have a gun.
The Rock.
I think
you would probably look down the barrel. And shoot.
I think you would have better luck fighting The Rock if you had a piece of paper.
Oh, nice.
I think even if you fought an actual Rock, you would probably.
Unless he's being backed up by fucking scissors.
Second question.
Speaking of
go
that,
ahead.
do you know that Dwayne Johnson is the only person who can turn a pair of lesbians straight? Because Rock beat scissors.
Oh God. Second question. Does Shazam: Fury of the Gods, does it drop the whole worm villain?
No, he comes back.
Is he the main villain?
No, he's in a after credit scene
Again?
Again?
Yeah.
And do they mention the first bad guy at all? Do they just kind of drop, or do they drop that storyline?
Sylvana? No, Sylvana's in jail still. Like they make a joke about how long it's been.
Oh, okay. All right, Cody. Oh,
But yeah, Fury of the Gods was just bad. Like Daniel said, that you knew what happened, and then there was a dumb ass controversy. I get controversy in quotes, but like Rachel Zegler plays a goddess, and people. I don't know if this was people just being internet trolls, but they're like, she shouldn't date Freddie Freeman because she's thousands of years older than him.
So there's been some concerns with that with Shazam lore in the past.
Yeah.
Where like who was it? Is it it's not Wonder Woman, but one of like the demigods sleeps with Shazam. And they're like, he's 12.
yeah.
This is a concern.
He's loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think you're going to have that any way you look at it with stuff like that. Like, the mystic behind it, like, the same thing with Twilight, Bella and Edward sort of thing. Like, she was 17 years old, and that's a 70 or that's over 100-year-old dude. Why is that sexy? Do you agree? If you do the brass tacks,
have you seen Robert Pattinson?
Have you seen Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, but would it be as sexy if you said the dude was, I'm 47. I've been like this for 30 years.
Well, yeah, because as we get older, they just stay the same age.
All right.
So with the Shazam: Fury of the Gods, it runs into the same issue. I feel like every second superhero movie runs into is that every second superhero movie has to rip their powers away. Mm-hmm. And like the exception to that is like Iron Man, who lost his powers in the third movie instead of the second movie. Like every superhero movie, the second one has to be, you've lost your powers. And they do the same fucking thing in Shazam. Like we can get away from this formula now.
Yeah, like put a chain on it so you don't lose it. Do you have the budget?
Yeah, 125 million maxed out. I'm not doing the and made 134.1 million.
Okay. What was the budget?
125.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it didn't.
And then they tried to set up something. It was when the DCU was like they didn't know what they were doing because there was the end credit scene where like he met with like two people that were in the Peacemaker series, and like he was like the Justice Society, that's a dumb name, and like they're like, okay, are you setting something up? Are you not? Like what are you doing here?
We got to scootaloo them along because I know Cody and Dana are going to have a lot of things to talk about this next one, so I'm trying to move on.
Okay.
So, the numbers. Fuck you, Tyler.
But no, like again, DC seems to make more fun of itself than it has solidarity.
They did make an Avengers joke, but
I do remember them making a Avengers joke, but I don't remember what it is.
It's when he's talking about how the Justice Society is a dumb name, and he's like, let's call it this, and he's like the Avengers Society, and he's like, nah, that sounds dumb too.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, number 6, Bomb of the Year, 2023, according to Deadline.com. D&D, Honor Among Thieves.
Damn.
They can all bite my fucking ass.
Yeah, that movie was fantastic.
Jesus.
Are you
Absolutely
looking
fantastic.
up the budget?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. I was just making sure.
It was just a well-designed movie. I mean,
All right,
it's
so
clever. It's true to the game. It's
take away your love.
interesting.
Take away your love, and see if you can figure out why it was a bomb.
Because I think it's too hyper-focused to the group. Like, it is so, like, in on the game that people who are not D&D fans probably didn't go and see it. It wasn't generic enough of a D&D movie. So, to be perfectly honest, it wouldn't have bombed if they just called it Honor Amongst Thieves.
That's what I was going to ask. So, is it, like, can you tell that, like, it's a D&D game? Like, is it, like, people, like, setting up the story and then, like, it goes into the... Or is it just...
It never shows the people outside playing the characters, but there's a lot of indicators of, like, that shit would happen in a real game.
Right.
Like how plans go fucking sideways, and it's like, okay, we made a plan. Oh shit, the plan's not working.
So do you think because they called it Dungeons and Dragons, it turned a lot of people over there like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Yes, 100%. I think it turned people who have a stigma against Dungeons and Dragons. If you cut that part of the name and just called it Honor Amongst Thieves, and you made it a Dungeons and Dragons movie, but only the people who are Dungeons and Dragons fans realize it's a Dungeons and Dragons movie, it would have made double because all of your fantasy and sci-fi guys would have seen it.
What game mechanic is in it? Is any game mechanic making it?
Yeah, when he's there's a scene where they're distracting the guards by having a illusion of one of the Chris Pine's character. He's a bard, and he's doing a thing. Well, obviously, it looks like there's a couple of flub rules because one of them gets his foot stuck and couldn't, and so he's messing up the magic. So the fucking hologram is just fucking doing this sort of like monster thing where it's deforming and stuff like that. So obviously, that was a critical failure.
Well, it's a failed concentration roll, yeah.
A failed concentration check.
The Speak with Dead scene, where you only get 5 questions or whatever from an animated corpse, like that's very much right from the game.
That's literally Dungeon Master fucking with his players and stuff like that.
Is a giant eyeball in it?
No.
Beholder? No, I don't remember seeing a beholder in it.
They might have said something, but I don't ever saw
Oh, I get it. Eye of the Beholder. Is that literally why they call it Beholder? Eye of the Beholder? I get the joke. I'm in it. I'm in the in crowd.
Idiot.
Took me a minute.
Yeah.
Cody, you got the budget?
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't go see the movie, you should see the movie. It is brilliant.
It's on my list. It has nothing
awesome.
to do with the fact that it's a Dungeons Dragons movie.
And then on the exact opposite scale too, they didn't cater entirely to because they had characters doing stuff that you couldn't do in the actual game.
Yeah, and there's people who will compare the game mechanics to what happens in the movie and being like, like they jump into a gelatinous cube to avoid something happening, and someone did like the damage calculation on.
Okay, so gelatinous cubes are a real thing.
Yes.
Okay, because there's a gelatinous cube in Onward. And I was like, I can't tell if that's a real thing or if that's them. Okay, because they talk about gelatinous cubes in Onward, like constantly, because their version of Dungeons & Dragons called Quests of Yore.
Yeah.
And he's like, watch out, there'll be a fucking gelatinous cube. And like, then all of a sudden, like the very end, there's the big payday and there's gelatinous cube. And I was like, I always meant to ask if that was a real thing.
Yeah,
I was like,
it sure is. So
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah.
Like lore behind them, they are completely transparent, so you can't even see them. So most time they're stealth hunters because they're not very fast. So you can just walk into them.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
We actually met one named Globagloo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the game.
Made on a budget of $150 million, made $208.2 million.
All right, at least it made it across its budget. At least it didn't make it for marketing, but. Well, and the only problem with that is it means there's not going to be a sequel, and that's a real shame because they put so much care and dedication in keeping that world real.
Chris Pine has said there is a opportunity, but it's not going to be as big. It's going to be more of a low budget, smaller focused story. If there is a, anyway.
There's just so much stuff they could explore, though.
Yeah, it's a real shame.
Okay, we're running long in the tooth here. So number 5 and number 4, Haunted Mansion and Wish.
Haunted Mansion, I don't think was a bomb. It was a good movie.
According to Deadline,
it wasn't like super scary, but I mean, it was a good movie. It had Jared Leto in it as the
that is
as
scary.
the box
That is
the
scary.
box head ghost. I said, it was a good movie.
Okay.
I won't go long about it. Wish, I haven't seen. From what I heard about Wish,
Do you wish you've seen it?
No.
Isn't that the Puss in Boots movie?
No, that's the
That one was a huge success.
that was
Yeah,
a good
that's
movie.
why I was confused.
That was like the Wishing Star or something
Oh,
like that.
okay,
The
okay.
Last Wish.
The dark
I know a
origin
little
of the
bit
Wishing
about
Star.
Wish. Some of the reasons why people think it failed, it's like it was too Easter eggy.
But
it
see
was
that
it was supposed to be a movie celebrating
The
that
100 years.
the 100 years of Disney movies. So it sort of pandered like, so they had like a bear like, oh, thank you for helping me out, Bambi, and stuff like. They had a lot of little jokes like that people found sort of cringy, and then the animation style, they was trying to invoke the sort of a classic animated style, but people thought it looked cheap.
So Chris, the villain is supposed to become the mirror from Snow White.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The talking goat is supposed to go on and create the city from Zootopia. There's like 7 friends that all have the dwarf personalities.
Oh, that
Like,
actually sounds pretty decent.
It's supposed to like set up all these things, but the way they said was like the villain wasn't like completely like thought through, and like
was that the one where they're trashing on the songs in it?
yes, they were
Okay.
complaining because the songs weren't as amazing as like that was when Disney had like Manuel Miranda like in their back pocket and was like writing all these songs, and then I guess he didn't do it for this one, and so they're like, oh, this movie's horrible. And it's like okay, like it was the same issue like with Moana 2, like he didn't come back and write those
Well,
songs.
the thing about Moana 2 is it's actually...
It was supposed to be a TV
it's
series.
a TV show. They took the episodes and they just bunched them together.
Oh, interesting.
So
But-
they're taking the actual script from Moana 2 and it's going to be Moana 3.
But like
What are you guys looking at?
the Wish movie, from everything I've heard, it was just it wasn't something like the storyline wasn't
I can't believe you
flushed.
did this, Adam.
Wasn't flushed
You
out.
should believe it. All right. This one, Tyler's got a lot of...
Hold
Oh,
on. Haunted Mansion, 150 million budget, 117 box office.
Okay, 200 million for Wish, 255 box office.
See, if you watch, I would watch The Haunted Man. I think even you would like it. Like it's
What does that mean?
because you're not. It's not a kids movie, but it's not like an adult horror movie.
Okay.
Like
It's
it
one-
talks about death, the grieving process, moving on. I mean,
I'll have to check that out.
it's a good movie, and at the same time, I mean, there's
Owen Wilson's in it, right?
there's
Wow.
jump scares and stuff like that.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. Number 3. Flop of the year. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Haven't seen it.
Pull out my notes.
Oh, God. Here we go.
I hadn't watched.
Do we have time
it.
for this? We still have another year to go.
No, we're gonna leave. We're gonna cut out 2024 and put that into our 2024 episode.
Oh, our
We-
recap
yeah,
of the year.
We'll
Okay.
put that one in that one
So the opening was good.
because we'll talk about the successes. As well.
The opening of Dial of Destiny was good, where like they de-aged Harrison Ford.
But does he move like a young man? Because they
Yeah.
de-aged Robert De Niro and
Yes.
the Frenchman or the Irishman. And
Yes.
he moved like an
It
80-year-old.
it would look as if you were watching like The Last Crusade or something like that.
Okay, all right.
The only the problem I had with that movie was, so you have Indy, you have Helena Shaw, and then you have Teddy, the new short round character, and it's like they can't pick who is the main character of the movie. It's like 3 side characters all vying for.
Why
Did they
didn't
bring Shia LaBeouf's character back?
No,
He died,
He died in Vietnam. They wrote him off.
Really?
So
Just
Indy-
off camera?
Yeah, so Indy,
fuck?
Indy, when they bring Indy back, they've taken him away from Marshall College, this giant university, and now he's in like some crappy school in Manhattan, and like they just gave him the old man treatment, where they're like, let's take everything about him away and just make him bitter and crotchety.
So they
like-
just made him Harrison Ford.
Yeah. So like
No, like
Got him.
legit
They
people
got
like,
him.
even people he works with are like, yeah, he's just like a bitter fucking old
Well, we
man.
just
Like he
lost-
doesn't like fucking talking to people.
We just lost a subscriber.
So like they killed off Mutt,
The head
in
of the Harrison Ford
Vietnam.
fan club.
That caused his marriage to disintegrate. So his wife's not in it. So he's just like this crotchety old man.
Why
like,
didn't they bring back Short Round? Because I think this was the year the actor was in Everything All at Once, right?
Yeah, which not a bad movie, but holy shit, was that a weird movie that I did not follow.
Yeah, so like he came back from acting to do that. They should have got Short Round.
Yeah, like he was in Loki too. Like he was back on the scene.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got that new movie that comes out soon, Love Hurts. So he's back in the acting world.
But so you had 3 characters. You couldn't decide who was in charge, and then there was just the MacGuffin. The
dial.
The dial. I can't remember the actual name of it. The whole
Archimedes dial, wasn't it?
yeah, it's like the anti
something.
But like the whole point of it is like it makes like a time loop. Like this Mads Mikkelsen Nazi wants it so he can go back in time and kill Hitler and become an even better Hitler. And like they go through the wrong time and then they wind up where Archimedes is building the dial and a giant Nazi like B-52 fucking bomber crashes in ancient Greece and like no big deal, like just leave the wreckage there. And so you're like, at first I was like, because when I heard about it, I'm like, it involves time travel. I'm like, great. But it's like the dial doesn't you don't go through the time. The dial finds fissures in space-time, but it only takes you to one place because Indy meets Archimedes and he's like, oh, I'm so happy to meet you. And he's like, oh, you were always going to meet me. And it's like,
So Archimedes has met Indy like several times.
Well, no, it was basically the way it sounds like the dial only brings you here. Like the dial was an SOS because it brings you to the siege of Syracuse where Archimedes is at. So it's like this dial is like an SOS through time and space that brings you here.
Okay.
To save Archimedes' ass.
Yeah, and so it's like, so that was the whole point.
So
like,
it's all it is a Bill and Ted like, oh, I'll make this and somebody else will come help me and solve my problem later.
yeah, it's like hey, remember to. Or it's when Bill and Ted's in the jail. Remember a trash can. Remember a trash can. And like it falls on his dad. Like it's one of those type of things.
I actually really like that plot line. So like Archimedes is gonna die, so he creates this dial that he knows will go forward in time, so someone that'll bring someone back in time to save his life. I actually really like that idea.
But they don't save his life. That's the, like it has no like they're literally in the past for maybe 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well,
and
that's
like
disappointing.
and like I said, I mean there's
So everybody's after it thinking it's basically just a time machine, and no, it is just go talk to Archimedes' machine.
yeah, like they travel through time. And I think my issue with like Dial of Destiny and like the Crystal Skull is I think it's like I don't want to see how the sausage is made. So like with the original 3 indies, like there's the religious aspect. Like yes, you see like the monsters come out
Wait,
of the
there's
ark.
religion in the first 3?
Yeah, you should watch them. In this one, like you see the aliens. Like if you wanted to make the Crystal Skull about aliens, like I guess I don't want to see it type of thing. I don't know how else to word it. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind the idea that the Crystal Skull was aliens. I just didn't like the Crystal Skull. I just didn't like the movie.
I thought they were interdimensional beings.
Yes, they were interdimensional beings.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, this movie just didn't know what it was. I guess, like I said, so you've got 3 characters vying for importance, and like they're all trying to be the smartest one. One of the notes I made though was that Teddy, the kid, he is Chekhov's gun personified.
Okay.
Like what?
I'm just curious where you're going to go with this.
So like in the first time you meet him, he's sitting at a table with like this mock-up of a plane, and like there's like this drunk GI. He's like, oh, when you hit this many degrees, he's like, then you pitch to this, and like he's learning how to fly a plane. It just so happens he has to fly a plane at the big climax.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
some people call that foreshadowing.
And then later,
That's basically what Chekhov's gun is, but it's a different premise.
it's they're talking about swimming, and he's like, oh, I don't know how to swim, and he's like, oh, it's real easy, you know, you push and pull.
It's not easy.
5 minutes later, he has to swim. Like, it's life or
What
death.
are
He
you
has to
pushing
swim.
and pulling when you swim?
Water.
Push. Oh, and then you pull.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
but
So for those of you who are confused about Chekhov's gun is that if a gun is introduced in Act 1, it must be fired in Act 3, is the premise of Chekhov's
It
gun.
was introduced by Richard Chekhov.
You might be closer than you think.
Oh, really?
I think
But-
that's what...
I was trying to think of
Well-
the least Russian name I could think of.
While Daniel's looking that up, that Chekhov fact, and we check that off our list, it's going to be
God,
a
that-
budget
that-
of $387 million. Only made box office 384, so lost $3 million before marketing.
Right.
So, one of my personal opinions, maybe why it didn't do as well, like you have obviously stated a lot of good facts, is maybe it played too much on nostalgia. Like, it was like, I actually talked to a kid about 18 the other day, and I made an Indiana Jones joke, and he had no idea what the fuck I was talking about.
What was the joke?
Like, oh, almost lost your hat like Indy. Like, oh, got it before the door closed, and nothing.
Is it possible because it wasn't a funny joke?
It is possible. I can ruin jokes sometimes.
well, like it was
But
just
like it's gotten to the point though, like these beloved things that we all know have slowly sort of faded out of the public psyche.
well, I mean, you build up Indiana Jones as, you know, this specific person, and then it's like, all right, but now we're going to take everything you like about that character and we're going to take him away, and we're just going to make it like
That's because people. That's why they. Because Lucas didn't write this movie, and I'm not bashing on the person who wrote it because everyone bashes on the person that wrote it. But the first 3 films were really good because Lucas wrote it. It was his character. He had a vision for it. Time did pass in between movies, but not enough time that where you lose sight of the character. You had a single director, so it's like they knew the character. The actor was young, and they did it pretty much back to back for the most part. And then you get a new writer, you get a new director for this one, and they're going off of either their love or the hate. Like, I'm going to get rid of this part of Indiana Jones because I don't particularly like this part. But you personally can't do that because that's part of. Yeah, you see what maybe I'm not explaining.
no,
myself
I
real
get
well.
what you're saying, but like I mean they'll have like a really good action scene, and then like they like cut it short and like throw in comedy for some, like not like slapstick comedy, but just something that like takes you out of the action. Like, don't get me wrong, like there were really good parts of the movie, but it was and kind of like what Cody said, like they tried to throw in like a whole bunch of like nostalgia things, but it's like the wrong moments. And it's like, okay, you need to I love Indiana Jones, I love Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones, but it's like, okay, rather than be like, hey, let's make him like an old grumpy Indiana Jones, just have a new guy play Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
You know, don't just keep hammering it on home to where it's like, okay, he's too old for this shit. I mean, he was too old in Crystal Skull, but in Crystal Skull, he was still a fucking badass.
Yeah, and that movie had Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. But man, no one dies. There's a train chase in the beginning one. Train's going full speed, and there's like one of those mail arms that stick out. Mag Mikkelsen takes one in the face, and he's still perfectly okay.
That's Mads Mikkelsen.
Indiana Jones is being hung in like a Nazi castle, and a fucking bomb from the Allies comes through the roof, hits the ground, doesn't explode. He's still in the air being hung. The bomb sinks through like 4 layers, finally explodes, and you literally watch his body fucking ragdoll like through the air, slam into something, and he's perfectly okay.
Yeah, dude. He
Dude, walk it off.
Yeah.
Did you do the budget?
Yeah, I just set the budget.
Yeah.
All right.
So the writer for Chekhov's gun is Anton Chekhov,
Anton.
a famous Russian
Old
playwright.
old Tony Chekhov himself. Okay.
Yep.
We got to do this quick because I guarantee you these last 2 you guys are going to have a lot of things to say. Number 2 and number 1 flops of the 2023. Anyone got a guess?
I like how he says we got to do this quick, and then he proceeds to draw it out.
Blue ball us.
Can,
Yeah.
can you guys guess what 2 and 1 is?
Madam Web?
That's 2024.
Oh.
No. Not,
Morbius.
No.
Morbius wasn't on any of these lists. Like, is it older than 5 years?
No, it was a bomb. It wasn't bomb enough.
What do you mean Morbius wasn't bomb enough?
It
I
wasn't
saw it in
bomb.
theaters. Or no, I
Oh.
didn't. No, I didn't.
Come on,
actually.
guys, take it. Come on.
Did
2023.
I?
Ant-Man.
It's a superhero. Both of them were superhero movies.
Oh, one of them
The
was
Flash.
Aquaman.
The Flash,
Aquaman?
Nope.
No.
What was it?
female superhero.
Oh, the Marvels.
The Marvels. The Marvels and Flash. Number 1 box office bomb was the Marvels. Number 2 was the Flash.
Okay.
So the Flash was bad. One, it pissed off a whole bunch of people because Ezra Miller's fucking crazy,
Yeah.
and it relied too much on cameos. Like, to me, they were like
But then the cameos weren't very good, you guys said, right?
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
they were relying on Michael Keaton to like carry everything, and
From
I
what?
mean, he was good in it, but it just there was no like emotional attachment to like that. To me, the stakes weren't there. Like, Barry's like super like determined to save Batman and Supergirl, and it's like, why? Like, and not like he shouldn't save them, but it's like you've known both of them for like 5 minutes, and like you're tearing through space.
But
and
he's
time.
known Ben Affleck's Batman. Batman's
But he's not-
Batman.
I know, but he's not trying to save that Batman. I don't know. To me, there was no like driving force behind it.
Not to steal from a different company, but Batman, he's probably like, this world needs a Batman. It's like the anchor being. Like, this fucking world this world can do without a Flash. This world needs a
Well,
Batman.
the thing with that is that, like, they do the old man treatment with Batman.
Yeah.
They make him an old, crotchety, bitter old man who Flash is like, you should be Batman again. And he's like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
all right.
it was like one conversation.
Let's get crazy.
That he does say, "Let's get nuts." I
Let's
think.
get nuts. That's what I meant.
Yeah, and it's terrible. And to emphasize how much more of a Batman movie Flash was than a Flash movie was, so there are 2 Flashes in the Flash movie, and I'm scrolling through Netflix, and I see a picture of Batman, and I'm like, oh, is this a new Batman movie? And I scroll over to it. No, it's Flash. The cover art for the movie on Netflix didn't have Flash on it. It had Batman standing on it in The Flash.
So Netflix or HBO Max?
It might have been HBO Max. It was one of the 2.
But even so, that's even more of a detriment. HBO Max, a Warner Brothers owned one,
Yeah.
is using.
Well,
You know,
spoil-
you know what? I want to say it was Netflix. I'm almost positive it was
Spoiler
Netflix I saw
alert,
it on,
there's
but
2 Batmans in this.
There's 3.
3, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I forgot about Affleck. There's 3 Batmans in this.
Yeah.
But like they didn't give Flash anything to like. To me, like there was no connection to Flash.
Does he
No.
do anything besides
Absolutely not.
run really fast that the Flash can do, like vibrate through walls?
No,
Never
he
see
doesn't
that.
do like the fucking tornado arms or anything.
Does
like
he
that.
have the ring that
Yes.
shoots out the suit?
They give him that.
How does that look? Does that look good?
It didn't look bad. It was
But, like,
kind of a
the-
cheeky thing.
The suit looked bad.
Yeah. And
Is he still doing the figure skating sort of skipping thing?
Yeah.
Where it's like the gazelle, where like his arms are like way stretched out.
yeah, and he's moving at a snail's pace. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Okay.
And one thing it kind of pisses me off with superhero movies and super speed. Super speed does not allow for perfect understanding of calculus and physics. So, like in like all the Quicksilver, like when the Quicksilver is saving the X-Mansion, and he perfectly throws a mattress so that the person he throws next perfectly lands on it.
Yeah.
That's not fucking super speed. That is super trigonometry.
But to defend Barry, though, isn't he a genius? I mean, I agree with you. The Quicksilver thing.
In the comics, he can think at super speed, but in the movie, they don't.
He's dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah, they make
okay.
him super stupid.
Okay.
yeah. He's basically a
He's
stoner.
dumb at super speed.
He's basically like a stoner.
Okay, all right.
Like they tried to do the Flashpoint where like he goes back in time to save his mom, but I don't even remember why he travels back in time. I don't think he travels back in time on purpose to even do it. Like
No, I think he does it on accident.
that's how like forgettable the kind of plot is.
Mm-hmm.
And like he ends up like traveling back and like he runs into another version of himself, and then that version winds up with superpowers, and he like magically masters super speed and everything like that.
Right. And like going back to like the super trigonometry, like there's a part where he's saving like people from a hospital.
The babies?
Yeah, and he grabs a baby and like throws it into a microwave to save its life.
What?
Yes.
In the movie Flash or the Quicksilver one?
No, the
Flash.
Flash.
And the
So
opening.
that's the point I'm trying to make with the super trigonometry and super
he's-
physics,
and
you know.
somehow like he's moving at super speed while like all of these things are falling, and like he's like magically like jumping.
Now, the jumping off the debris in the air, I can buy that because that to me says super speed. Like that makes sense to me because he can jump off of those things because basically the world is moving in slow motion, so these things that are slow motion are more platformy. Like that I can get behind, but like when he's like throwing things and like, oh, this needs to be here perfectly so this will fall in and catch, like, no, Flash can't. Like,
And
that's
then, like,
not super speed powers.
The whole joke is that like the microwave's unplugged, like it's supposed to like keep the baby safe. But then when it lands, like it dings, like it just
does ding,
finished.
yeah.
Like it's like the weirdest thing ever. Like if you're gonna do a Flash movie, like I want to see like the arm like tornadoes and shit like that.
Being a little perspective, some of that could just be mechanical parts in the microwave. It could just be a mechanical timer.
Yeah, you can actually hit a microwave with your hand and make it ding.
Right, but the whole like
Coming
falling,
from me and Cody on the side there.
yeah, the whole falling, like the debris and him saving the babies was just them trying to mimic the Quicksilver scenes that everyone loves so much.
They could have done anything else.
What rock and roll song was he listening to while this happened?
There was a song playing. I don't remember what it was.
Well, and then later the other Barry has music that he's listening to.
Yeah.
Does
They
he-
literally just looked at the Quicksilver scenes and said, okay, that's our Flash movie.
Does he go to brunch during this movie?
Does he go to brunch? I don't know. Probably.
I think he is having like food with Iris in one of the like
So
before he goes back in time.
So he
Yeah.
does end up liking brunch.
I don't get it.
Me neither.
In the Justice League movie, remember he was talking to Batfleck. He's like, "What's the deal with brunch?" I don't get it.
Oh.
I will say, part of like I think what went wrong in the Flash movie. One, they used too big of an iconic storyline for a first fucking solo movie. Technically,
That's
like the Flashpoint
Snyder
is like one of the
disease.
biggest Flash storylines
Oh,
of them all.
absolutely.
It should not have been the first outing for the Flash.
But they didn't even and they didn't even use it right.
Right? They Wolverined it.
Like it's
Yeah.
they made it like the bootstrap paradox. Like he goes back in time, and then the alternate self that doesn't even exist yet because he hasn't gone back in time yet knocks him out of the time stream to create that version.
Is that the bootstrap paradox or is that the grandpa paradox?
I can't remember.
I think it's the.
One
but-
paradox. Well, I mean, I know which each one is, but technically he'd have to go back in time to create that one.
Right. Okay. All right,
Yeah,
fine.
but like too big of if they had stuck more on top, too big of a first outing. You don't go for that for a first fucking solo movie, in my opinion.
Right.
I think they were trying to find a way to reset things.
Logically, so they could be like, okay, this is why we're not continuing with this narrative.
I mean,
But if they were going to reset, then why the fuck do you have Clooney as Batman at the end?
I don't know.
Because Clooney's
I
the
think
new Batman.
I think
in
they
the DC.
changed their mind like halfway through. I think that's.
I think they
But-
changed their mind a lot.
Yeah. But like I said, it wasn't good. Like nothing.
This movie's giving Daniel a headache.
Nothing
the movie
was-
just stresses me out, man. It could have been so good.
Nothing was cohesive. Like
Cody, budget?
220 million.
There ain't no way. That ballooned way higher.
Supergirl was
220
so hot in that
million.
movie. I don't care what anyone says.
I hated
Made
Supergirl.
271
You hated her?
million.
Yeah, I like
There ain't
Melissa
no way.
Benoist
That's what-
Supergirl.
well, I like her.
Wikipedia
I like
said.
her
Okay.
too.
She when I think of Supergirl, I think of Melissa Benoist's character. Like that is Supergirl. The short-haired black cut with the like no real personality. That's not Supergirl to me.
Well, that's because she was being held captive.
You know who her boyfriend was?
Who?
Oh, wait, no, I think it was wrong. Yeah, I think Supergirl was dating Shia LaBeouf. Or married to Shia LaBeouf at one point.
Oh, that's probably
Actual
why.
cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
That's probably why.
Is it? Why is he a cannibal again?
I will have to play it for you off air. It's a
Okay.
song.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So anything on the Marvels, real quick?
Marvels was a decent movie. The problem was the villain was of no note.
Who is the villain?
Great question.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it basically Spaceballs?
Wasn't it Ronan?
I
The-
wouldn't. No.
It wasn't Ronan. again?
The villain was like going to this planet and like stealing water, and going to this planet and like stealing air.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they were. Yes, I didn't even think about that being Spaceballs. But yeah, kind of. That was the premise, that the villain was stealing like attributes from planets to
seen-
revitalize
I
their
have not.
planet.
Like,
I've
I
seen
actually
The-
don't
the-
know who the villain
the-
of the Marvels
the only
is.
It's
thing-
me neither. And I saw the movie.
The only thing that I know about the movie is that I liked is that the actress that plays Kamala Khan is like a huge nerd.
Yeah.
And like someone tried to say something bad about like one of the things, and like she corrected it.
Yeah,
But- But
But then
I've tried to watch it like 3 times, but to me it's like Thor: Love and Thunder. Like I can't get into it.
see, I liked it so much better than Love and Thunder. Like Kamala Khan's interesting. Brie Larson does a good job. The actress they have playing Spectrum was a good fit. Or she might be Photon. I could get Photon and Spectrum mixed up. But whoever Monica Rambeau's character is, like the characters are good. The acting's good. The CGI is fantastic. The action sequences are good. It falls flat because you have a completely forgettable villain. And if that villain was different, then
it's a Kree, isn't it? Or the Master Commander or Master Supreme or whatever.
I
Supreme Leader or something.
fuck. I don't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
could not tell
someone,
you.
It's someone that Captain Marvel had like destroyed their planet when
Yeah.
prior to the events of the first
Oh,
movie.
so it's one of those ones you will pay for your persons.
Yeah.
And I hate.
I don't know why she sounds like the captain from Galaxy Quest, but
I hate to say it, but I think it failed because you have 3 female lead characters, and the villain was female.
But wasn't it also tied into a Marvel TV show that didn't do very good either?
It tied into Miss Marvel, but I don't think it went poorly. You don't need to see Miss Marvel, although you get a ton of fan service if you do.
I think the only thing that tied into it was the very last scene from Miss Marvel is Miss Marvel uses her powers and then like flies like through the closet and like steps out as
Is she the one in Doctor Strange that Doctor Strange rescues?
No, that's
No.
America Chavez.
That's not the same character?
No,
No.
Oh.
different character.
Gotcha.
Completely different power sets.
Gotcha. Which is the one with the big hand?
That's Kamala Khan.
That's the one in this movie.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But
Although
don't
it's
they,
not- although
don't
it's
they
not-
change her powers?
Yeah, because in the comics she's a metamorph, which means that she's got like Mr. Fantastic like powers where she can grow and stretch and stuff like that. And in this one she can harden light into like platforms and stuff like that. So
That's
they
cool.
change her powers significantly, but they still do like the giant hand thing with the hardened light.
Gotcha.
So what was the reason they was all switching places and shit?
They were
Their powers were quantum locked or something.
Yeah,
like
there was
that.
quantum tethering. So whenever anyone used their powers, the quantum tethering it interacted, and it accidentally would swap them back
Yeah.
and forth.
How did they get quantum locked?
They explain it. It has something to do with.
Hollywood mumbo jumbo.
It had something to do with the portal that granted Monica Rambeau powers or something like that. I would
Yeah,
have to
didn't
rewatch
she-
the movie. It was
she
another
got-
one of those forgettable points.
She got powers in
but-
WandaVision.
Yeah, I don't quite remember exactly how they got quantum locked. But it was one of those things that was like, it wasn't a plot point really. It was just like this shit has happened and we need to solve it.
I know how they got quantum locked. Rambo went through the portal door
All right,
and the door
budget
shut. They're like, no,
was
we don't have the
300
key. Oh, it's locked.
Okay, so budget was
That was
374
fucking
million.
bad.
Oh,
Budget was 374 million. Box office was 206.1 million.
Yeah, I will say that the quantum locking power swapping thing, when they start like making action sequences with it, the action sequences are some of the best in the MCU.
That's what I feel like would be good to watch. But like you said, from everything I've heard, the villain just isn't good.
Villain.
It was the same thing with the Flash. There was no it was Zod again.
So what would happen? What do you think Dana would say? Is if I'm helping Madison hang her TV?
No, you're doing it wrong.
On the TV on the
Why
wall
would
or
you
something?
hang a TV like this?
on a brat or something, and then she uses her power, and it makes a loud noise, and then Brie Larson appears, and Dana comes running. What's going on? I'm like, and she sees me standing next to Brie Larson. I'm like, fuck. I don't know.
Ha.
No, okay.
Ha.
Just trying to lighten up the mood.
Ha.
God, man, so y'all acting like I'm Cody.
Yeah, so deflect to me
Well, when you
when
start
you're
telling
bombing.
Cody level jokes, you know.
Okay, all right.
Don't
So-
forget your hat.
So our
Like
recommendation.
Indiana Jones,
Our recommendation.
that character from the 80s.
Which one of these flops would you recommend? I would recommend Underwater, 100%.
I would recommend the D&D movie. Like, I think it's fun. It's a good way to shut your mind off for a couple hours. Just watch some fun. And I think it's actually a good way to sort of introduce people subtly to a game, and then later on sort of point out stuff like that's how things could sort of go.
Okay.
I'm going to say the Marvels. I think even though the villain is forgettable and the plot line's a little weak in some places, the action sequences are great, the effects are good, and the characters are interesting and clever. I like the Marvels.
I'm going to say The Flash because if I had to watch it, so should everybody else.
If I
So
suffer,
you just have a spiteful
We're going
pick?
to cull the herd. If you watch this
Exactly.
movie, we'll see who survives.
Exactly. Fuck.
Yeah, there will be no relevance going forward with any of these plot points we have represented.
Legit, I am making a small list of movies that we have talked about in the bombs, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch these.
Well, yeah, I said I took a couple screenshots of that reminiscent.
Yeah,
Reminisce.
like Chaos Theory or Chaos Walking. I'm gonna watch that one. The Haunted Mansion. After you described Haunted
Like I said,
Mansion,
it's-
Uh,
I'm gonna find that one.
It's good.
I'm going to watch it just because it's got Danny DeVito in it.
Not the best, but at
What?
the same time,
Yeah,
you're
the
like,
Haunted Mansion has Danny DeVito in it.
Oh, no.
they like add they
It
add
has
a
the
whole bunch of
weekend,
lore
too,
shit to
doesn't
it.
it?
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
who
it
the
depends on
weekend
what
is.
day you watch it.
Gotcha.
It's Saturday and Sunday.
What's that?
Sunday,
The weekend.
Monday, happy
Oh.
days.
Daniel, do your bit.
All right. You have been listening to the Orig, a damage control podcast.
Long episode.
Prediction.
They checked
Make
out.
sure you check out. Oh, probably. Make sure you check out new episodes every Monday on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. And make sure you check us out on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and the X.
And I want to make sure, I want to see if she listens to the end. Lord of the Rings sucks. Okay, now go.
We'll hear about that. All right. Thanks for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Adam, push the button.